3. All right. Hi, everyone out there. Welcome to Girls Runs These Worlds. We are playing today Humblewood Summer Vacation. I think our streaming title isn't quite that, but we are playing Humblewood. And if you don't know what Humblewood is, well, Humblewood is a 5e D&D setting made by Hit Point Press. And we are doing a sort of homebrew adventure one-shot for today. Something chill, something fun, something lighthearted. But depending on the actions of our party, things can happen, and it is D&D, so who knows. Speaking of, first let me introduce myself. I am Natalie. I am the dungeon mistress for this adventure, and let's move on to our cast. I'm gonna go in the order that I see for myself. So Miss Strange.
Oh, hello, me. I didn't think it was going to be me first. Hello, I am Miss Strange. I am a storyteller VTuber, and my pronouns are she, they, and I'm playing maid today.
All right. Mouse.
Hi, I'm Mouse, she, they, and I will be playing Fidget Jump Flick, a Gerbine.
All right. The Never Squid.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nev. Pronouns she, they. I will be playing Juniper today.
All right. And lastly, but not leastly, Loving Sunny.
Hello, hi, I'm Loving Sunny. I do the TTRPG stuff. My pronouns are they, any, and I'm gonna be playing Buttercup, Soul Knife Rogue Servant. Goes by they, he pronoun any. We go.
All right, beautiful. So now that we've all introduced ourselves, I suppose we got to bring ourselves into our world and into our characters. Take a breath and let's picture our environment here. We're in the realm of Humblewood, a world filled with woodland creatures as our main civilization of the world. There's Humblewood and bird folk of various sizes and species that all live together, supporting each other and living in balance with the nature's rhythm. Now, it is summertime, it is warm, and a lot of festivals happen this time of year as the bounties of the lands are fruitful. But of all the places in Humblewood to celebrate, the best place is Saltaire's Port. Saltaire's Port is the main port of all of Humblewood, the only place big enough to support large sailing ships from countries across the Song Sea. And of course, with that comes all the diversity of folk and food and celebration that can come when trade is happening. Being a beautiful scenic route along the Talon Grip coast where cliffs meet the beach, we come into, not just through Saltaire's Port, a town built into the very cliff sides, almost to a perilous extent that only bird folks may have some homes there, or Humblewood folk of being able to glide. But down the beaches, just a little bit outside of town, we see, at first, is it a house? We come closer. Oh, is it a pile of wood? And then as we come even closer, we see it is, in fact, a home. Almost like a housing dam of driftwood of various shades and colors, just warped and winding around each other, tied with ropes with some mudding at the bases to keep it all together. But it's all lovingly pulled and sculpted and made into this beautiful little home. And just off to the side in the dunes of the sand is a twisting, tall juniper tree, brightly colored with its full leaves in the summer sun. Now it is morning. The day is starting, and already the heat of summer is starting to haze on the beaches, and the sound of crashing waves greet the party as they come and wake up to their morning. So, party, whoever you feel might be the most morning person running out this door, if you'd like to introduce your character, describe who they are and how they come out of Juniper's cottage.
If I'd have to wager a guess, I would say it will be Fidget. She is easily excitable. You see this little over 2 feet tall, what you think at first is a puffball, but upon closer inspection, no, it's a rodent creature, and she is giddy with excitement. She is wearing a brown tunic, orange shorts. She's got big round cheeks, white freckles across her nose, and large glasses that occasionally get obscured by a mass of green curls. Eager to go out and explore the beach, she begins to not run, but hop on each of the beds of each person staying in this wonderful abode, going, "It's morning! It's morning! We have to go! Come on, wake up! Wake up!"
I love her so much.
All right, who will be the first to answer the morning call?
I think probably Juniper's gonna be up fairly early as well. I think she's up earlier in the summer than in the winter because she rises, with the sun a little bit. But today she decided to sort of relax a little bit until Fidget came up, and I think she's like sleeping in a little hammock hanging from the rafters. The entire house is very cozy and absolutely covered in all sorts of trinkets and completely mismatched stuff that was definitely found on the beach or in the ocean in some capacity, including a little, well, not little, a mosaic that she glued together of lots of different colored pieces of glass that forms a sort of dormer that she hangs her hammock in front of. So she has a rainbow kaleidoscope of colors as she sleeps. And she's just sort of shocked a little bit at presumably Fidget pulling at her hammock, and she'll go, "Oh, good morning. Hi, Fidget."
Good morning to you. We gotta go. We're supposed to go look at stuff on the beach and beachcomb and get shells and maybe catch some fish and do a whole bunch of other stuff and maybe learn how to swim because I don't know how to swim. And we're supposed to do all this stuff and we should get going.
I'm gonna say this. I think Maid would be the last one to get up, only because as Juniper as Stephanie put it, you like the summer, you get up in the summer. Maid is an Arctic fox, so this is the one of the worst places she could be, but well, for her affliction, but she is she has her little eyes closed, her little glasses are on like the closest like surface. She is very sleepy, even as Fidget and everybody's waking up. She is very, very groggy. I guess the most notable thing about her being like being an Arctic fox Vulpin is the fact that even though she is sort of devoid of like any color, she does have loads of little paint splotches all over her dress, her little white summer dress, and her little face that have just dried with different multi-little colors. But when Fidget and Co decide to arise, and as she's waiting for everybody else, she takes her glasses off the side, and even when she has her glasses on, she still has the little like squinty eyes.
Yep.
Like her eyes are always perpetually closed. And she just makes this groaning noise as she gets up, I think. Not in disgust, just more like in tiredness, I'd say.
I just realized I completely forgot to actually describe what Juniper looks like.
Don't,
yes,
yes, please.
We would love that.
So I think Juniper is probably the oldest out of the group. She's the otter Mapach equivalent of being in your 50s. She's just kind of, she never had kids of her own and she doesn't really want any, but she loves to take care of people just in the area in general. But despite her age, she doesn't really look it. She's still very fit and very active. She has cropped short bright blue hair, which is the same color of the juniper berries in the tree just up the beach. She's wearing clothing that has clearly been mended over and over and over and over again. It's all a bit faded, but well cared for and in good shape. She is, in fact, a sea otter, and she does spend most of her time in the water. But with her friends staying here and the activities on the beach, she's staying in the cabin with them. She's got a white face, which sort of fades into the brown of the rest of her fur down her chest. And she's got a what looks like the branch of a juniper tree that is her magical staff.
It's so pretty. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, the staff is their namesake. I didn't
I
even
love
think
her.
about that.
All right.
Buttercup is taking a little long to wake up. Just a little lazy, a little like, okay, yeah, there's a lot going on already. Uh-huh. Doesn't actually say anything, just gets up. And he is he's a dick servant. Which means he's like all of his limbs are very thin. He's the tallest of this group because he's still a deer. Still, but maybe the smallest presence. He's very shy, he's very quiet. Probably, wakes up wearing white clothes with like pastel pinks and blues and stuff. Just has like a little tuft of hair on in between his horns. Puts his glasses on, also very, very tiny, just goes little magical glasses to help him see. Would probably get up, just like nod a good morning to Fidget and go after Juniper. Very quietly, just go like still kind of waking up, see if Juniper needs any help, and just in general being around, their presence. Just yeah, hi, I'm here. Doesn't actually say anything until Juniper, you hear in your head, Buttercup go, hi, good morning. Have a full day today, right? Yeah.
Out loud, because that's how this works, right?
Um,
This is a class
uh,
feature, or
Oh yeah.
actually, you can talk out loud as well. Buttercup just chooses to do it through everyone's head. And everyone
I'm
actually
leaving it up
three
to you
creatures.
how you would prefer us to respond when
Yeah,
you
I
speak
would
to us in our
say
heads.
yeah, because everyone hears when Buttercup speaks. It's up to 3 creatures, so basically, the 4 of us have like a mental link always. So I
Oh.
would say, yeah, Buttercup would say it just in your heads, and you can answer either telepathically or out loud. I would say like you can just say out loud if you'd like, just
Hmm.
have a normal conversation, and then Buttercup just goes like, "Hey," sometimes in your head, haha. But
Because I just wasn't sure if us responding
oh yeah, no,
mentally would
it's
actually transmit to
mhm.
everyone.
Oh.
Believe it does because of the psionic. I do need to roll, and I'll do this to see how many hours it's gonna last. The
Yes.
psionic connection,
Silent
but
life. Yeah.
yeah, you basically establish the telepathic communication between yourself and others. So we're all psychically linked, basically. But it's your choice if you want to say it out loud as well, because we're not really infiltrating. You can choose which one you want to do, basically.
Which one would Buttercup prefer? Because Juniper would be happy to adapt to whatever Buttercup prefers.
If it's directly to him, then probably telepathically. And then if like it's a group conversation, then would probably out loud, I would say.
Okay.
Okay. Since this seemed to be directly between the two of them,
Yeah.
Juniper will respond mentally. Good morning, good morning. And while she's giving her greeting, she'll just sort of if Buttercup allows, pull him in for a hug and sort of give him a kiss on the cheek or something.
Oh, yeah. And
Aw.
Buttercup, especially with everyone being smaller, Buttercup is always like very crouched and like trying to be as small as he can while being the tallest creature in the room, but like trying to stay. So yeah, like a big cuddle, bringing the cheek to mouth level for
Oh
Juniper.
yes, Buttercup would be the biggest of them all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
don't
want him
think.
to be small, but he's small for a servant. He is
Yes.
the smallest servant you've ever seen. They're still the tallest Humblewood
Yes,
folk.
and still squeezing.
Yeah, they
to
are the
fit in-
tallest. Yeah.
Yeah.
and still squeezing to fit in an otter's house.
Exactly.
Still otter sized.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think Maid
Um,
does that little you guys ever seen foxes yawn? Like little fox yawn. And eventually I think 'cause she's very slow. I think she'd be out of bed, getting ready, sort of thing.
She would find a cup of iced coffee on her bedside table.
Iced coffee. I had an iced coffee this morning. How fitting, yeah. As soon as she gets up, she'll take a sippy she'll take a sippy of the iced coffee. Holding it with like, even though it's like, I think she's used to holding cold, like say warm drinks, so it's like holding them with like both the hands and like sippy in the morning.
And sorry.
It's all right. No, go ahead.
And Fidget is, to say she is weaponized chaos would be an understatement. This little ball of puff is bolting through the house, back and forth, a complete blur, shoving things like sandcastle building materials and umbrellas and all sorts of things that are fairly larger than her into what one would assume is a marsupial pouch. It's just right into the fur. There it goes. It's gone. Where does it go?
Where does it go? That's a good question.
And so
Juniper
she's- go
Juniper
ahead.
lets Fidget just be chaos. She does know how to mend things. She has the mending spell. She doesn't mind if Fidget knocks things over, but she does like subtly prevent Fidget from like knocking into stuff and hurting herself or tripping over anything on the floor, and just sort of gently trying to steer her away from hurting herself. But she doesn't really mind if she knocks stuff off the shelves.
And every time Fidget stops, she doesn't sit still. She literally vibrates. And it is because she's all this energy contained in this tiny creature. And so, but eventually she does stop and kind of join the others and is bouncing in place. It's just like, I want to go, I want to go, I want to go, I want to go, beach, 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 beach.
I'll
beach.
say, with all the excitable noise of Fidget as you start to come back down and have your breakfast meal, outside you do hear like the yawning noise of your mount. And Humblewood is referred to as Kapu, but essentially just a giant capybara that you use as your caravan pull. And he just goes, and you just very slowly see his face come up in the window, waiting and watching.
Oh, Adelaide, I didn't forget you yet.
Juniper
What do I
like
feed you?
puts something in Fidget's hands to feed to the mount.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
you
see
totally
his little
you
ear
gave me this
flicks,
earlier.
and he starts
You
to
gave me this-
slowly come back.
Juniper frames it as like, you gave me this earlier for safekeeping. Here, I'm giving it back to you, even though Fidget probably totally forgot.
Yeah, definitely. And so she feeds Adelaide and kind of peeks out the window, just ready to have some fun and cause some mischief.
He just opens his mouth like, "Ma,
I'm not giving you any more food. You ate.
Mom."
And then she goes back into the window.
Yeah, Maid, as you guys, as Fidget says that, she goes, I had no idea that we were going to be causing mischief today, but I can put that onto the schedule. Just taking it, and takes a very long big sip afterwards.
Beach mischief is the best kind of mischief. Unless it's candy mischief. Candy mischief is pretty great. But yeah, beach mischief. It involves
Mm.
chasing seagulls.
She's got a
and,
clipboard out. Like a little notebook,
Yeah.
sorry, like to write down what you say.
and poking sea anemones.
Mm.
Anemone. Anemones.
And
and building sandcastles with booby traps. And she just keeps going, and you're just like,
While Fidget does that, Buttercup, like after seeing Fidget, okay, I'm not giving you any more food, and going on the thing, goes like, was about to give the capybara an orange. I was like, okay, goes outside to give the capybara an orange, so Fidget doesn't see it. Just like I'm still gonna feed this capybara an extra food, but
So-
leaves, basically sneaks out while Fidget is doing the whole, we're gonna do this, this, and that, and just brings an orange.
as you do that, Adelaide, in typical Adelaide fashion, will open his mouth and just drop a good berry into your hand in thanks. You don't know where he stores it or where he got it, but it's yours now.
That is the sweetest baby, please. Oh my god. Pet it.
As you are gathering up your supplies for the day, you can already hear a very subtle rise of noise of crowd and music off down the beach in the distance, as the newly built district, the Overlook, is now not much further from Juniper's cottage. Juniper, you're a little used to your place being a bit more isolated on the outskirts, but with the newly built extension of Solitaire Sport, it brings the city a little bit closer. But you are hearing that rise of celebration already, even at this early hour of just barely after dawn. You all gather up. Are you wanting to go with the caravan, or are you all wanting to walk down the beach towards the Overlook?
Oh, that was a hard decision.
I think Juniper's just gonna walk.
I would probably.
She always does.
Yeah. Walking is therapeutic.
I mean, this is her, like, this is her druid circle land. This is the land that she protects and I guess worships as a druid. So she knows every inch of this place. She takes every opportunity she can to walk and explore.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple go.
And she makes sure everyone's got their shoes on, everyone's got their coats, nobody forgets their stuff. Without saying anything, and just, subtly puts like little snacks and drinks and stuff in people's bags, just to make sure they're going to be supplied for the day.
She's such a mom friend. I love it.
Yes.
I want Juniper to adopt me,
I am the mom friend in real life too. So.
I want Nev to adopt me, Sunny.
I think as they're walking, Fidget is going to try to stay with the group and to tamper down her excitement, but it's hard. She's grinning from ear to raised ear. Her tail is stick straight in excitement. Her fur is puffed up to the point where she looks a bit like a tribble with legs. She is eager. And as they walk, she kind of wanders just a little off. She starts collecting shells and rocks. Why? You don't know yet.
All right, beautiful. So the party goes down the beach. The sands are still cool from the night before, but the sun is already warm and the breeze carrying that sea salt air across you. And in the distance, you see the silhouette of the Sea Watch Lighthouse. That's the main pillar and watch for Solitaire's Port. But you can also see the temporary boardwalk that's at the sort of rim of the Overlook. And on all sides, just bright, colorful tents and stalls, streamers and ribbons and bunting banners all over the place. You can hear music from an accordion that's accompanied by a whistling tune. Of course, laughter of children and adults alike, just enjoying the day already so early. And you can smell freshly baked goods and teas and all kinds of food already happening. You see on the side where the cliff face of why this new district is called the Overlook is like peeked out little nest domes with big windows and they all have little roped and plank bridges attached to them, all creating these networks of roadways on the outside. And they're all just sort of built right into the cliff. And at the top, you can see a big sort of semicircle of a deck that comes out and looks over the whole beach. You enter the space. There are signs very loosely done in sort of a scrounge craft, mopotch sort of way, meant to sort of hold up during the festival, but easy to strip away when we're all done. Signs pointing to the food vendors, to the games where you can already see various beach games off to the side, and different tumble families and birdfolk families picking out spots that they want to make their station. And this is where the family meets when they need to sit down for picnics or come back together after their various activities of the day. There is crafting tents. There is folk from all parts of the world who have come to show their wares and stalls and network and connect. But there is a breadth of things the party can all do. So what is the party interested in?
Oh my god, my voice cracked. Sorry.
You're too excited.
Yeah, I was like listening and I was like, huh? I forgot like to do the things I need to do. Is there any like if people are getting all ready for stuff, is there any like how to describe it? It's like bardic performance or like any performers, if that makes sense here?
Yeah, so your party came in the night before, so this is the first day of festivities, but you have heard of like the sort of scheduled pamphlet of sorts. That there is big displays at night for bards, but there's a lot of sort of busker style bards also out in the crowds and showing off their skills. And the one you're hearing right now is like an accordion music happening. And if you were to follow that music, you find yourself seeing a very large blue parrot luma, rather more large than a typical luma is, but he is a blue parrot, bright plumage, a very happy, smiley face on him, a little bit of a crest, and he is playing this very large and intricate accordion. It has bright red sides, and it's almost like a patchwork center. But he's playing it very joyfully in a manner, sort of bouncing on his feet back and forth with it, whistling out a tune that only a parrot can achieve.
Yeah, I think out of everybody, Maid is definitely more interested in making sure to see the majority of these people if they can. And to be honest, she isn't too fussed if people don't want to come with her to do that, because she knows that it's not for everybody to just stand and watch somebody the entire time. But that'd be one of the first things that she would like to do. She would sort of mention that probably earlier, probably the day before actually. But she will generally follow what everybody else is doing, what mainly they want to do.
And Fidget would want to try to learn how to swim up until the point where Maid mentions music. Then she just hyper fixates. She's just like, music. And if Maid goes off to listen to the parrot, Fidget would be right behind her, not passing her because he's trying to be polite. She is like, music. Like, it is just one track mind with this one.
Maid will turn around and be like, do you like music then?
I like dancing and hopping, and 3 of my 16 siblings play instruments, and they're all really good. And music is just storytelling with a beat. And I like collecting stories, so I like hearing new songs because it's like collecting a story you can hum in your head.
When Fidget is doing this, by the way, because I very much do this, I very much do the same thing that Fidget does in real life. Maid is like just like obviously she can't show expression with her eyes, right? But she is like nodding along, taking note, being like, "Oh yes, I agree with that. Yes, I didn't. That's so interesting. I never considered it like that." Like she is fully analytical, fully like will take you, even though she's very serious, will take you very seriously as well, very very seriously as well.
So
She's like, "Yes,
cute.
I understand. Yes, tell me more about your 3 siblings." Yes, like she really likes art, obviously in general, because she is an artist in general. So
Yeah, one plays a hurdy-gurdy, one plays a piccolo, and one plays a fiddle, and they're all really good. And I can't play music to
I
save my
am not.
skin.
I am not aware of what a hurdy-gurdy is. I have to get a visual of that right now. Is that
It's like
real?
this. It's like a big, almost
Oh,
like
it
a.
is.
It's like I don't know how to describe it. And like she keeps trying, but every time she tries, she's like, "Oh, well, maybe that doesn't make sense." It's like a guitar on your lap that you have a little crank for.
Oh, I know what a hurdy-gurdy is. Yeah. Okay, now I know what a hurdy-gurdy. I've seen people play it before. But May doesn't. So you like a guitar, you play on your lap, and
If
you
we keep walking
crank it.
along the beach, we might find someone playing one.
Playing a hurdy-gurdy. I must see this immediately. If that is
Then
the
we
case.
have a quest. We have a quest. Find a hurdy-gurdy.
Find a hurdy-gurdy. It has been noted down into the notebook.
Tell me
All
how, and she
right.
just full steam ahead.
All right. And what are Juniper and Buttercup looking for as we start this day?
Buttercup is looking for not necessarily like people that they can help, just like being useful, if that makes sense. Like seeing if they can like support either like the party and whatever they want to do, or just like wants to be involved basically, but not like the active taking, doesn't want to take the front, but wants to participate in, well, however much possible. So seeing like, oh, okay, Fidget wants to see, like, if you need to see more in the front, like give a little uppies and try to help see, like, okay, look for shells. Maybe finds a little shell that's like, oh, this one looks pretty, and goes and brings it to Fidget. Like, if see, oh, that's an instrument. I also don't know what we're looking for, but there's a person playing an instrument right there. Just taking, like, trying to be a part of as much as possible without actually being the main focus of the, like, doesn't really have anything like, I want to do this, but I want to participate. It'd be there for everyone else, basically.
Beautiful.
Trying.
But I think our main thing was walking along the beach, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
And Juniper is somewhat bemusedly just following along the much more energetic members of our group. And seeing Buttercup like running around trying to be helpful, at a certain point in his head he will hear words. Yes, brain, thank you. He will hear Juniper gently remind him that today is also for you, you know. Find something you want to do today and just do that. It can be just for you.
He's gonna look back at Juniper, go like, big think, and like, 2 thumbs up. It's like, okay, yeah. Doesn't actually answer, and doesn't say anything, just like, okay.
He'll get a nod.
Oh my god, my heart, please.
Wonderful. All right. So the party walking between what is labeled as the Festive Promenade, where all the big vendors and tents sort of set up on the makeshift boardwalk, and then the beach going into the ocean. You see a mass variety of vendors and activities going on. On the vendor side, you catch a pale, sort of dusty pink sign. And Juniper, being a local, you would recognize this very quickly just by the color alone. Upon the sign, it is written as the Rosehip Tea House. And this is like a sample stall for the big tea house that's in the center of Solitaire Sport. And there you see a much older gerbine mouse, sort of a dormouse woman. She has like a little bonnet cap on to protect her from the sun. Just a couple of ears poked out, but heavy with suntan or like lotion to keep them protected. And she's there knitting, and upon her stall are samples of various hot and cold teas, as well as a couple baked goods to accompany them. There is a company called the Wesden Company, which is from far across the Song Sea, 2 continents you are unsure of. And they are one of the major ship companies that bring items from those places. And there you see what you think could possibly be a gerbine. But as an animal, they are a bear cuscus. I think I said that right. So they almost look like a boxy, fully furred opossum, but not quite. There's something different about them. But they're there with various bright, shiny trinkets and sculptures of various precious stones and various clothing accessories. Another stall that Juniper would also recognize is of the organization The Tenders. They're made up of folk who protect the wood, so various druids and mages and the like. And they are gathered 3 factions. So you got the Humblewood faction, the Crystal Sea or Waste faction from the north, and then the Tanglewood or Wilds faction from far in the south. And they are present today, willing to talk to folk who want to talk to them about various games along the beach.
Sorry, your sound cut out there. I don't know if that was just me, but your
I
sound cut
believe
out
that was
for
a-
No, I
was
think
a-
it was
on the
us.
last
I
bit.
was sorry. I was checking stream to see if it was me or not. But yeah, we cut.
Okay.
That was the middle chunk.
It was
got
just a
cut.
bit of
Middle
them
chunk.
being
What,
like,
what
it
did
just
you
stopped.
just
It
before?
just there were the tenders are there to talk to people,
About
and then after that it cut off.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
very
Okay, yeah, it
very-
was just about their organizations, basically.
Oh, okay.
And then everything else you see games like there's one you catch with a bright banner that says hunt the hidden Imada snails. There's one for cliff racing off behind the promenade, and there's some for like castle building and drinking contests.
What is the name of the lady who runs the Rose Hip Tea Shop?
Yeah, so the lady at the little stall, her name is American Shelley. And she's just there knitting away, greeting people as they come up to the stall. But yeah, you know her as American.
Depending on what happens, either we pass by or Fidget insists we go in. What
She
Juniper is
insists.
fine. She in greeting, she'll sort of just nod her head and go, American.
Oh, Juniper, happy to see you this morning. Would you like a sample?
Oh my god.
I would, but I have a friend here who would very much like to try sample. She makes tea too.
Oh, beautiful. I'd love to meet them. She
So
just like these tiniest of tiny glasses that are on the very, very tip of her nose. You think they wouldn't do anything, but she's like very much like messing with them up and down her nose.
Fidget would come up to the counter just wide-eyed, biggest eyes you've ever seen. And she goes, "Do you have tea ingredients?" Test.
All right.
You okay there?
I got to refresh. Hang on a second. If
Nice.
players RP amongst themselves.
yeah, we yeah.
Fidget's
It
excitement
has
broke
come to my
everything.
attention that I was not described a tea blend. A maid was not described a tea blend. Yeah, I didn't mean to make
Does
you go like
Maid say this?
Yes. Yeah, they would.
So Fidget would like do a 180, look at me and go, "You." What? How would you describe your personality?
I have a keen eye for things, I'd say.
Keen eye, keen eye. I would say a wiry green with wintergreen mint
Oh my
and
god.
spruce tips and maybe some chicory and some white glitter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Every time you guys say something that's like a list to me, they will write it down. They are a big list enjoyer. um, so they write it down, or like any sort of vague, important information that's even presented like a list. Like if it has a comma in it, Maid's writing it down. um, so yeah, they'll write that down. I wrote it down. That sounds good. I might try that out again. I might try that.
So Fidget is, if given permission, she is investigating all of the teas and reading the ingredients, and she's making a little list in her head of all the things she needs. And she is so excited just to be in her element because being a self-proclaimed tea bard, she relishes in the ceremony and the ritual of making tea, and of course making tea for her friends. Her favorite thing to do in the entire world, more than mischief, more than chaos, more than weaponized cuteness, is to come up with tea blends for those she cares about.
Beautiful. Yeah, you see on the table, there's a sample per sort of tea group. So there is a black tea, an oolong tea, a green tea,
Speaking of tea, we've
etc.
got to hydrate, so everyone remembered.
Oh,
Everyone
yes.
take a sip.
Hydrate now.
Member beverage. And they're all samples that are best for the summertime. So they are very refreshing flavors and very light as well, perfectly paired for any like iced teas or even to make into other things. And Mary Ken goes on about being able to like make shaved ice with the various leaves poured into it and the water poured on top to create sort of this blend of stuff.
Oh, Fidget is so wanting the shaved ice. Like, it is. She's trying to be cool, but under her breath, very quietly, she's going shaved ice, shaved ice, shaved ice, shaved ice, shaved ice, until it's like just a constant stream out of her.
Oh, well.
But I
will try to find shaved ice and bring it to Fidget. Almost concerned.
Yeah, there is actually a shaved ice vendor down the walkway, and Mary Ken does go, well, if you ever want to, and she hands you all coupons, like very carefully with a slightly shaky hand, giving you each a coupon. And it's like 10% off. And she says, the big actual shop right in town. You can get all your tea and your baked goods, you know. And she thinks for a second. Christoph, the owner, he's very kind man. He would love to talk to you about the teas. He loves trading with all the people that come in. He'd be able to give you a lot more information than even I. I just like to volunteer for the festivals.
Is she selling anything, or is it just free samples on like her?
It's free
stall?
samples.
It's
samples
just free
and
samples?
coupons.
Okay. Oh, that's so cute. Gonna like nod, get like try to find the
Thank you very
fruitiest
much.
tea. Get like, but
yeah, Fidget is just giddy at this point. It's like a child who's had way too much sugar, and like the more she tries to contain herself, the more hyper she seems to get. But she would eventually calm, take a breath. Do you all want shaved ice? Please say yes. Please say yes.
It's
Please
ice,
say
so
yes.
I'm inclined to say yes. Not even inclined, forced to.
All right.
Encouraged is a good word.
from time to time, Buttercup is gonna go on Fidget's head, and when he sees that she's starting to get like very hyper and go like, breathe. Try to like actually go with the sound of like calmed breathing just to see if it helps her calm down a little bit.
Fidget listens, and you can actually see her fur deflate a little bit as she calms down, and eventually she's, okay, okay, we're good, we're good. Shaved ice. And she would turn back to Buttercup and not say anything, but instead run up and just hug his leg real tight before, you know, scampering off and doing her usual bounce in place, waiting for the rest of the party.
Yeah. All right. So it doesn't take you too long to find the shaved ice vendor. It is a sea salt ice that they serve, and you see there a Finnick Fox vendor, Vulpin vendor. They have sort of a bright red. Trying to think of the right word for it, but it's kind of like a ice box on wheels, and they're just with a little metallic machine on the side. They dig out a bunch of ice, pour it in the top, and grind it to get the shaved ice down. So with y'all approaching, they give a wide, big smile. Their big Finnick Fox ears pointed all the way up, sort of like shaking a little bit in excitement. They're like, "Oh, hi, welcome. Would you like some shaved ice? Would be happy to serve it."
Do I know them?
You do not recognize them. You assume they could be new to town, or a vendor from elsewhere coming in, but I'd be like, you can just get ice. We of course have salt. We also have various flavors you can like pump into it. I got maple, birch, we got a berry compote. And he just starts rambling off like citrus flavors, floral flavors, like every kind of flavor. And then they're just like continuing counting on their pod fingers, like, okay, I think that's it. There's a sign if I missed one, but let me know. And like their excitable energy is matching Fidget right now.
Oh no. So the problem with that is that
Oh, we're creating a loop.
You bounce off. Yeah, I
back
I
and
know
forth.
the feel.
She's bounce, 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 but
Juniper will like come up sort of behind Fidget and gently place her arm around Fidget's shoulders and go, "This one was very excited to try them. Which flavor would you like, Fidget?"
all of them.
The rainbow. All right, we can do that. And he just gets like this cup. It's like a bright yellow cup. Puts all the shaving on it, like Salt Bay on it, and then you see him just across the levers of flavors. He's just like pump, 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 and then back the other way, pump, 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 pump. Like, all right, there you go, and then drops in a big spoon.
Oh, she doesn't need a spoon. The whole face just goes into the shaved ice. Like you can hear her munching and crunching as the shaved ice rapidly begins to vanish from the bowl and into her. She does come up for air from time to time with her entire fur of her face completely covered in whatever color she had just devoured. It's it's a look.
Buttercup's gonna say to Juniper, I'll go like, "Can I have one with berries? Also, I'm gonna go look for a napkin. If you could order for me. Yeah."
Juniper will turn to the vendor and go, "By the way, what's your name, son?"
Oh, my name is Varric, and I am from actually from the Dust Bowl. This is first time in Humblewood. I'm very excited.
Welcome to our humble little beach. I live
Thank
just
you.
up there.
Oh, it must be fun living on a beach.
It is for me. I would like 2 juniper berry ice, please.
Okay. And then he starts like popping up and doing sort of like little tricks with the cups as he's trying to get the ice in each of them at the same time. And then he slides them across, doing like a big pump of some sort of berry syrup, and then tops it off with a bit more of like crushed up berry compote. It's like, all right, 2 juniper berries. He hands them out to you.
Made.
Juniper will pay for everyone even the giant rainbow one without even saying anything. And also without saying anything, will hand one to Buttercup and just sort of drape a cloth she just pulled out of her bag over a Fidget's shoulder as a napkin.
Oh, and now thingy went off. Oh. Maid, with all seriousness, turns around to the vendor after this is all done and says the following: I would like some shaved ice flavored, please. Nothing, no condiments.
All right, ice flavor. And you like zero like contemplation on it. He's just like flips the cup, puts it down, shaves the ice. He's like shake, 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 and then takes it back to the ice machine and does like a slight little doop as a sprinkle of ice comes down. He's like, all right, there you go.
I have just shaved ice flavored now. Brilliant. She's holding it with both her hands like you would a cold drink, like a hot drink. Sorry, not a cold drink. My gosh. And she's having a great time.
Awesome.
Really quickly before we continue with our sweet treats, is there anywhere we particularly want to go besides the beach? If you want to,
I believe we were looking for a hurdy-gurdy.
We were looking for hurdy-gurdy. That is under my objectives. Sorry, but if there are any other hurdy-gurdy related activities as in objectives, that we have to complete by the end of the day, best to make a list of them now.
I would love to go do the game with the searching. Yeah.
There was also something more active, like cliff racing, and I'm happy to watch from afar, but I don't know if I'd be able to partake in that.
Maybe learn how to swim. And she says this very quietly. It's kind of weird because you might miss it. Because normally she's very loud and boisterous, but for some reason she's a little embarrassed, and she's kind of doing this with her fingers.
Juniper does not miss it, and goes.
You have a high.
We'll get you there someday, Fidget. Don't worry about it.
It's hard to learn how to swim when your fur is hydrophobic. I just kind of float on the surface like a beach ball.
I would like to ask if it would be possible for, in the previous days in preparation where Fidget was talking about that, if Buttercup could have tried to look for a swimsuit of Fidget size to have brought it, like to give it to Fidget today. If like
a Fidget size,
maybe we can try
wetsuit.
a Fidget size wetsuit.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe we can try. I have something for you. Looks at Juniper, probably kept it in like Juniper's bag for like a secret until the reveal time. Like maybe we could, if you want to, I think that could be fun.
The squeal that emits from her could probably break glass. It is long, it is loud, and she almost tackles Buttercup with the tightest, biggest hug her little 2-foot frame can muster. You haven't seen her this happy before. She is exuberant with joy.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you. And she kind of holds it up and looks at it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Look at it. Can I go try it on? Without even, realizing there's probably not a changing room nearby.
Yeah.
So she's gonna duck behind the shaved ice shed and try it on. When she comes back, it's a sight because all the poof is gone. It is all compressed into this itty bitty frame. This creature is 95% fluff. She comes out kind of wobbly. She's like, I feel weird. I look weird. Is this it? We're supposed to look like this?
I'm not particularly sure, to be honest. Not something I'd ever considered.
Juniper will quickly hop into the water and come back out. She's not quite as deflated as Fidget is, but she's just sort of in solidarity to be like, hey, my fur is all flat now. she is a sea otter, so it's not, she is built to be in the water. It's not quite as flat, but she did go from fluffy to sleek pretty much immediately in solidarity and goes like, "It's fine, Fidget. If it helps you to swim, then who cares what it looks like? No one will see you in the water."
But you look cool. I look ridiculous.
You look adorable. I like it.
Learning how to swim is the more important bit. Who cares what you look like while you're trying to do it?
Good point. Good point. And she just kind of peeks around the group at the water. Just, we can wait until later, maybe.
Well, you got shame and everything. We might as well, right?
With great reluctance, she waddles because she's not used to wearing this. Like waddles her little self over to the edge of the water and just kind of dips a toe in and goes, "Okay, I'm done." It's cold. Don't want. Nope, that is wet. We don't like
Water
wet.
is usually cold unless in the sun for very long.
But why?
I don't know.
If you don't
Because
want
there's a lot of
to,
salt in it, and it doesn't heat up very much. That's why.
I'm not.
Yes, the very notable Humblewood motorcycle.
Sorry.
There is a Mapach scroungecraft that also happens. So they're like messing with motors, and you just sometimes hear like little like vrums and little explosions, and you look over and you see.
I was not fast enough with the mute button. I'm sorry.
you have no idea how happy that makes me.
No, it's law now. It's law now. It's canon.
Yeah.
There.
You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm here if you want to.
So she reaches into her tummy pouch, I guess is the best way to put it, and pulls out this cap, and she's just like, "Mother said I would need this," and she puts on a cap of water breathing and just marches right into the ocean until all you see is her ears sticking out of the water. And she just kind of sits there. And then eventually pokes her head out and goes, "Am I swimming yet?"
How tall is Fidget again, for context?
2
for my
feet
imagination?
tall. 2 feet
So
tall.
wait, so you say until she disappears, which is incredibly quickly.
Yes.
Juniper will immediately like come after her into the water and like take one of her paws with both of her paws and be like, "This isn't swimming, sweetheart. This is just sitting in the water, but it's a good first step. If you want to sit here
There's
for a little
more
while to get
steps?
used to it, yes. But if you want to sit here for a little while and get used to the feeling, that's okay too."
And she ducks back under the water. And she just kind of sits cross-legged in the sand watching the fish. But every once in a while, a little bubble pops up from her. Eventually, she comes back up to the surface and goes, "Okay, it's not terrible. It's cold, but it's not terrible.
Once you
I
get
think
to
I like
swimming,
the
you won't
water."
feel the cold so much anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to swim. I'm not that good at being athletic. But I like the sitting and watching the fish. That's fun. As she passes her cap over to Buttercup, goes, You wanna look at the fish?"
Sure,
You said,
that sounds fun.
sorry, really quickly. You said that you were not very good at being athletic. But I'm sure that you are fine enough. Right? Unless you.
I mean, if you believe in me, I can believe in
I
you.
do believe in you. I believe in you.
We all
Immensely.
believe in you, Fidget.
And as Maid says that, I am going to cast Enhance Ability on Fidget.
Ooh.
Specifically giving them bull strength. So the target has advantage on strength checks, and on his or her or theirs carrying capacity doubles. So your carrying capacity is half. So you can carry a lot, which might mean that you might carry yourself a lot better. But yes, you have advantage on strength checks.
Either that or she's gonna come home with half the beach in her pocket.
Oh wait, no, that was an awful thing to get to.
Yeah,
She's gonna pick
you
up
have
more
Too late.
enabled
She's gonna
her.
pick up more shells for me.
All the shells are in the pocket now.
I
I
didn't
love
even
it.
realize. Well, it's too late. I've done it now.
Yep.
Can't take it back. No take backsies.
And you don't
She,
have to be super athletic just to be able to swim. The important thing that if you fall in the water, that you know how to get somewhere
well, I
instead of
mean,
just getting stuck.
if let me show you. She ducks under the water, removes the wetsuit, and pops back up. Just this perfectly sphere ball with two little eyes and ears and a tail. See what I mean?
I'll put
Just
Buttercup's
bobbing
trying
there.
so hard to just not go, oh, so cute.
I mean, just because you're on the surface of the water doesn't mean you know how to get back to shore, and that's the important bit.
You have a point. She wiggles back into the wetsuit really quick before anyone could see, and just kind of floats in place, treading water, which is better than sinking.
Oh,
I
Maid has those glasses. I don't know what they're called. But those are glasses that they change or they dim depending on how much sun there is. If you guys are aware of them.
transition lenses.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. They have those. So now they have their cool shades on, basically. And it like fully dims down for them as well because of the way Fox's eyes work. It fully dims down. So while Maid cast that spell on you, they were wearing cool guy glasses. So just keep that in mind.
Nice.
Fidget looks back at Buttercup and Maid and kind of lifts one arm while treading water as best she can. Come on, I can't be the only one doing this. You talked me into it.
Yeah, Buttercup was already thinking of going, walking, because Buttercup's almost 5 feet tall.
Oh wow.
In front
tall as
of
me.
Fidget, hey, in front of Fidget, like to the deeper part, like encouraging. Do you know when you're teaching a child how to swim and like, okay, I'm in the deeper part, you can like, I am here to protect you. Like, you're not gonna go past this point. Like doing the little swimmy in the deeper part, like if you feel comfortable, I am here for you. Just having a little fun and all that good stuff. Like,
Yeah, Maid will go
thumbs
without
up.
hesitation. But I don't know how to swim IRL. But Maid probably does. So Maid will go in. Foxes generally can swim, so yes. Maid definitely knows how to swim. They probably go in like very slowly, but they still go into the water with them.
And Fidget's kind of watching how the others swim, and she's starting to learn how to mimic that. And eventually, she manages to doggy paddle over to Buttercup and is incredibly excited by this. It's a new form of movement, and she swims circles around Buttercup and
Yeah,
then around Maid.
I'll say
And
since we
then-
haven't had any rolls yet, just give me a general strength check to see how fast you can be doing this.
You have advantage on this because of enhance ability.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
will say, while you're doing that, Juniper has stayed next to Fidget the entire time, and in solidarity again, is doing the thing that otters do where they just float on their backs with their tummies sticking out.
Oh my god.
So she's just sort of sitting there, floating very gently alongside Fidget, not hurrying her at all, just floating alongside her and being like, "See, I'm floating too," without saying anything, but just being encouraging and just making sure that she doesn't like, flail too much or panic or anything. Just like right there, just in case something happens.
Got a 17.
Yeah, so with the
Nice.
17, it's not a hard check. There's no intense waves or anything going on. So you get a pretty good, strong doggy paddle going. So kind of like a wet rat in water. You're almost like
As someone
speed
with pet
paddling.
I have seen wet rats in water, and it's hysterical. Yeah. So, because she's got short limbs, doing like a breaststroke or anything like that would be very difficult. But she
Yeah.
can doggy paddle, which is better than nothing. And now the task is getting her to stop because she is doing laps around each of you.
Yeah, it's like how you teach when you teach a kid how to ride a bike, and that's all they want to do.
And this is how we
Yep.
tire Fidget.
Yeah, we did it.
Yep.
The real goal.
When they leave the water, because when you're in the water playing, it's fine. And then you leave the water and you're like, I have spent energy for the rest of my life. And just Fidget's gonna go
Yes.
like, I am at a normal level of energy now.
All right.
Love it though. Just having like, yeah, encouraging Fidget, like, yay, you did it. Doing a little, not as much as Fidget, obviously, but just letting them have their time
Yeah,
before we go back.
Maid will come out of the water after that as well.
Yeah. Fidget will come out and just, thank you so much. And it's obvious she's starting to power down.
Don't be too tired yet. We still have at least 4 itemized things on the list.
Perks right back up. Let's do it. And so she's eventually gonna find a quiet bush for her to change back into her normal clothes, and she'll fold up the wetsuit and tuck it in another pocket. How many pockets does this creature have? You don't know. And just she'll come back to the group and says, I'm ready for more. Let's do it.
All right. Well, the summer sun is rising ever higher in the sky, and it's getting pretty close to noon as you all dry up from your fun little swimming lessons in the ocean waters. But not too far from you, as you're all drying off and getting your bearings on land once more, is the hidden snails game. And you see there in very bright, colorful plumage a sort of peacock Saraluma. So their back feathers are all like waving in the wind, trying to attract attention over to the game. And they're just calling out, saying, find the hidden Imata snails. See how fast you can do it. The rare snail that hides amongst the reefs and amongst the sands. Can you find them?
Buttercup's not even gonna say anything, gonna look at Juniper and just go,
this is the next thing on the list. So, makes sense.
I think this is my thing. I think I found my thing.
Juniper will nod and sort of guide everyone over. Does Juniper know this person? Is this a local?
They're not a Saltaire's Port local, but based on their like language inflections, they might be from the city, like from Elderheart.
Okay.
And when you approach, you do see like the big sign saying the Hidden Amada Snails. It is sponsored by Prita Cloudburst, which you recognize that name as a very old shopkeep of the Crimson Rose shop that also has like just this half ship stuck up in the sands that they made into their shop. It was once their old ship that got scuttled. And along with it, it says, in partnership with the tenders, no snails are harmed in this game. But they see the party approaching. They have big smile. It's like, oh, welcome. Do you all wish to try your luck? See if you can find the mate snails.
I assume so, yes.
Juniper, Sunny's gone for a second. Bear with us, but Juniper's gonna push Buttercup forward first because this is what they wanted to do.
That's what they wanted to do. I think we should all still join in though.
Yes.
Because they might do amazing and then we can all look silly while that happens. Hello.
Hello.
Right.
So Juniper is going to, provided Buttercup lets her, sort of gently push Buttercup first, because this is the thing they wanted to do. And we approach the person.
all right,
Afternoon.
delightful.
Afternoon.
Hello. How has your festivities been? Have you all been having fun?
I don't know if fun is on the list yet, but I think it's part of the list.
He kind of like cocks his peacock head for a second. He's like, well, fun should always be an implied list item. You should always have fun in your day.
I'll write it on the list as well. Maid writes it down.
All right. Well, for anyone who wishes to join, this is to get stamps. Do you have a stamp ticket yet?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you definitely need those. And then he like pulls a little cup and he gives each of you a little like kind of like business card size stamp pass. Says if you participate in games, you can go get a prize at the end of the day.
Oh my gosh.
We should try to get Buttercup a prize.
We should, well, I mean, prizes. We probably should
That's
go
a
check out
good
the prizes
idea, Fidget.
afterwards. As well.
We'll get prizes too, but I want to make sure Buttercup gets a prize because he got me the wetsuit and it was very nice.
Oh yes.
You.
It would be a nice way to exchange. Yes. But
All
prizes.
right. Well, if you wish to participate, I can explain some of the rules. All right. So to participate in the hidden hemata snails, well, first, what is a hemata snail? It is a type of snail with an illusionary shell. It's able to change the colors and shapes of its shell to hide amongst the environment. So the snails, and he gestures widely to behind him. And you see in the beach, there is sort of 3 sections and sort of semi-rings. There's one that's just mostly little sand dunes and some clusters of like driftwood and seaweed. And then it just progressively has more stuff in it. The middle ring has little like driftwood fencing that sort of curls up and creating little shelters. And the last ring is dense with items. So there's seaweed fences and palm fronds, hunks of just massive like driftwood made of like some sort of tree root or something. And even like little like castle digaways and trenches. He gestures wide and he says, you have to find 1 snail per section within a minute. It's very fast, but you all look very capable. So if you can find 3 snails per section and get back to this red box, and he gestures to a area where it's just red rope that creates a little box section. And he says, if you can get back to this spot with the snails unharmed, very important to not harm the snails, you will get a stamp on your little ticket.
Are we allowed to use magic?
Ooh.
Oh, indeed, as long as it's not harmful. Very important.
Excellent.
Just a side note, we're about to play a hidden object game in real life, and I love it.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to find them.
Well, if you are ready, if you step in the red box, line yourselves up. The first one will be the easiest. The young ones have a harder time getting their shells right to match the environment, but as you get to that middle section, will be a lot harder. AKA mechanically, the DCs go up.
What? Yes, of course. But I'm excited to find things.
All right. So also just to be mechanical for our players here, you can use whatever means you have, but generally you want your either investigation or perception to find the snails. And then it can either be animal handling or like sleight of hand for speed to be able to catch them.
Ooh.
Unless you have other means through magics or features that you may have.
Make it be known. Maid is going to give Buttercup the help action if they intend to do checks. That's kind of what they're going to be doing.
And go ahead.
That's it. Sorry.
And Fidget is going to cast Unseen Servant and command it to help Buttercup.
Oh.
Excuse me. Buttercup would no, excuse me for just everyone being so kind, but Buttercup would like to ask through Juniper, I guess, if wearing, because they have a lot of magical items that they're wearing. Like they have gloves, they have a cloak. It's a lot of magical stuff. Is it allowed? Because it's a lot, and he doesn't want to cheat, basically. So he's gonna ask if he needs to remove the magical items before partaking in the game. Basically,
I think he already answered yes, just don't harm the snails.
Yes.
okay. Just don't want to cheat. Okay, then fine.
Well, if you're all participating, it's just you. So if your friends are fine with it, then this is a competition amongst yourselves.
Fidget is gonna stay out. Just keep an eye on the. Well, she can't keep an eye on the unseen servant, but she's just gonna watch, and with a little notebook, she's gonna start writing down the story of the epic snail quest.
The epic snail quest.
I would like to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Oh, brilliant. That's a good idea.
And sort of, because I think all of us want Buttercup to win, so she's going to sort of whisper out loud to the snails, like, with out of earshot from Buttercup as they're walking past these boxes. She's gonna like whisper out, "I have a friend who really wants to have a special day. Could you help them find you, please?"
All right. Let me just do a quiet little roll here. You don't hear too many answers back, but there is one very close by, just like,
What do these snails eat?
I love
give
that noise.
me a nature check.
I love the snail noise. Sorry. Appreciation for the snail noise. Oh, your dice are so pretty.
It's being a little laggy for me.
Yeah. So you got a total of 6. You try and recall information on snails. At most you can assume, since the vendor said they are kind of like a sea snail, which is your place, that they got to eat at least stuff that's in the sea.
She will attempt to get more of a response by going, "Whatever kind of snack you want, I will get it for you, please." That is so cute. Oh my god.
I need that as my text noise on my phone.
I will provide sound snippets later, but now it is a contest. So y'all get into the box ready. Pretty much focused on getting Buttercup to win in the race to get in and out in a minute with 3 snails. So I do have a combat encounter set up just to help keep track of the rounds. And also to just get an encounter going. So if you all open up your character sheets, if you just want to drop initiatives, that way you can track actions per round.
Awesome.
And then I really am writing the story of the epic snail quest. So.
No, not that one. Initiative. Oh,
Buttercup.
Wow, Buttercup.
Not 20 on initiative.
Everyone wants me to win. Buttercup felt very inspired. Yeah.
Oh, 6. Brilliant. I can write the list last then.
A Fidget, on your character sheet beside the shield, there's like a I and I. You click on that to roll your initiative.
Oh, but Fidget's not actually doing that. She's sitting this game out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you
Just
want to
writing
include
little
just
story.
in case you want to ever like cast spells or
Yeah,
inspiration?
You have an unseen servant, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it is the. You just told me, and my brain lost track.
Yeah. Beside the shield, there's a I and I. Click that.
There we go. Normal.
All right.
4. Well, 9.1.
Yeah. So with that, you're all lined up in the box, the little roped up box, and you see the peacock kind of raise a sort of chimed bell, and he rings it, and it looks like it should be some sort of delicate sound, but instead it comes up in sort of like an orchestra of ringing tones. And he's like, all right, you're off. So for the first round, give me perceptions or investigations for anyone who is looking.
Oh, okay. A perception.
Do I need to roll for my unseen servant?
Yes.
All right.
Perception
How
or
do I go about
investigation?
doing that?
Oh, they're both exactly the same. I guess perceiving and
Huh?
investigating different things, so I'll do perception.
Let me see. If it doesn't say specifically, we can just go by your perception.
It has an
Ooh.
AC of 10, 1 hit point, and a strength of 2, and it can't attack.
So we have a 16, 21, 13. Okay.
And so what do you want me to roll for that unseen servant?
So just roll your own perception.
Perception. You got it. Attributes. Perception. Normal. 7. So 15.
Okay. Yeah. So this first ring, you are all looking and paying very close attention, trying to figure out what exactly would this snail look like. The vendor did say that its shell imitates its environment. So you're looking at the scraps of like seaweed and little palm leaves. You're looking at some of the little bits of driftwood. But the one that noticed it something off first is Maid, when you see like a very slow inching trail as you notice a little piece of driftwood just moving.
Maid will point it out to Juniper first, because I assume I'm aware that you cast Speak of Animals, unless I'm not for whatever reason. And be like, there is one over there. It's getting away. I don't want to point it out yet, but I don't know how I'm going to capture it. By myself at least.
Juniper's gonna sort of look around, pretend like she's looking around right on top of the thing, and just sort of whisper to it, "My friend over there with the hooves, we would really like him to win this competition. Would you mind showing yourself to him, please? I'll give you a snack."
Give me a persuasion roll.
Trying to persuade the snail.
Oh
Please!
dear. I'm not very good at that.
Okay, 10. It's not too hard. The vendor said these first ring ones tend to be a little easier to get the attention of. Not highly communicative. You think they're just very simple, chill little guys. They usually and slowly start inching their way towards towards Buttercup.
My God, it is
And-
so cute.
And does it tell me what kind of snack it wants? Because she did offer a snack.
Yeah, you just get like a little slime, which
I'm
to your
sorry,
best ability you
what?
interpret as slime.
Slime. Okay. Would I know what that means? Because I, out of character, don't have any clue.
Slime.
That's just like some sort of like slime material. You think it might mean like seaweed goop, with it being like an ocean sort of snail.
Okay.
But now with their lowest roll, which was Buttercup, after the convincing, you do see like this sort of thick but little piece of driftwood like slowly inching in front of you.
Buttercup's gonna look around, completely oblivious to what the others are doing. I'm like, going to try to sleight of hand the little snail as delicately as possible, to not, you know, hurt.
All right. Give me a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Yeah. Okay. I have a
Nice,
plus
nice,
bonus.
nice. So with a 27,
My gosh.
it is so swift and yet so gentle. You just do a little scoop up and the sand drips down and you see the driftwood as like the shimmering illusion sprinkles off. And all you see is a sort of crystalline snail. Its body is all shimmering in an iridescence and its shell and a sort of conched loop just sitting right upon it. And it's semi-transparent all throughout. So you can see why it would be a hard creature to ever see. But it's a very little one. It's just kind of now slowly going across your hand and up your arm.
This is the cutest thing. My God, Buttercup's gonna like look for like a comfy place to keep it, and look at Juniper like. Yay.
You found one. Congratulations. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
That is a quick round. We're all very efficient there. So next, you leap to the next semi-ring, and now it's far more dense with materials that are meant to hide the snails in here. So once again, if everyone could give me a investigation or perception check.
Can I maybe argue for survival?
Sure. You can
Since
say if you're
since
looking
this
for,
is
like,
my
tracks
natural
or...
environment, and I'm just trying to look for something that's out of place.
Yes, go ahead.
That dice bounced. That like did a little jig before it before it got rolled.
I got a 23. Also, could Fidget cast motivational speech on Buttercup?
Oh wow.
Because that would give Buttercup an advantage on wisdom throws.
Okay, let me just... is motivational speech one of your features or spell?
It is a spell.
Spell. Okay. I see. Yeah, so you can say for this round, that's what you would do is motivational speech.
Okay, awesome. So Fidget kind of ruffles up and goes, "There once was a creature named Buttercup, and they gave all the thumbs up. He's hunting for snails. I'm sure he'll prevail and not really mess this up."
Yeah. Awesome. So with that, we'll go from lowest to highest perceptions at this point. So for Maid and Juniper, as you jump into the new ring, you're focusing, you're trying to see what's out of place, but nothing's really catching you. This is now a much harder stage to find a snail in. Fidget, your servant does seem to start poking towards something that is off. But as your servant starts to try and like tell you what it is, Buttercup has already found something. It was like immediate. Now that you have a little snail on your arm, your eyes focus in and you just see this one slightly off-colored driftwood against this big bramble of driftwood. It's just slightly more red than the rest of it. So you want to give me your sleight of hand or animal handling if you want to try that.
You know what? Buttercup's gonna try animal handling now, because it's completely not. It's like a -10 bonus, but gonna like try to like be friends
Can
with the snail.
Juniper give the help action on this because I have proficiency in that?
Yeah, so do that advantage.
With advantage, okay. Animal handling. An advantage.
21.
Oh my God.
So again, essentially following in what Juniper coaches you through, you're very easily, gently put your hand out, making the slow murmur whispers, and you hear the very quiet as the little red driftwood starts coming slowly, inching up, and its shimmering appearance dissipates into another crystalline form, much bigger than the one you previously caught. And now that one starts going into your hand and up your arm.
Oh my god,
As
Buttercup's so happy right now.
yeah, and they feel nice and cold on you. Like as you feel like the slime on any exposed fur or skin, it's a very cooling, not uncomfortable, but it's like, oh, it's like an aloe lotion.
Oh, that's nice.
But as you're all ready and go to leap into the final and toughest ring, we're going to pause it there for our break. So we've been having a lot of fun in this summertime adventure. So remind everybody, I believe it's about a 15-minute break. So everyone, for watching, remember, as well as us, hydrate. So get your waters and fluids, medications if you need it, vitamins, all that stuff. Go stretch, have a good stretch. And remember to, if you're not subscribed yet, do it. If you're not following us on the socials, do it. Girls Runs These Worlds. Support us. It's great. We're fantastic here. We love you. And we'll be back in 15. See y'all in a bit. Hi everyone, welcome back to this fun summertime Humblewood adventure one-shot. Basically a lot of beach time fun, and that's what our party has been having. They've sampled tea, had some shaved ice, Fidget learned to swim, and we are in the last leg of our hunting of the Imata snails. Everyone helping Buttercup to basically just win all the stamp cards. So as we enter the final ring, y'all leap over the little fence that sort of marks off each section. And immediately you notice just how more dense even this center ring is. There is little rock formations, there's deep dugouts. Someone even made like a rather intricate little sandcastle just sort of in the center with like little mazes of stone around it. So a lot more dense material that these snails can imitate and hide among. So for this final little leg to try and get the last snail to bring back to win, anyone who is willing, throw down a roll, perception, investigation, or whatever you can argue to help in this situation.
And remember, Buttercup, you have advantage on wisdom rolls.
I rolled again because I had
Boy.
rolled. I had rolled.
I like the idea. Even
I am
though I don't-
so busy trying to help Buttercup that I just trip over my own feet.
I like the idea that you're like, oh, everyone you can want to roll. I would like Juniper rolls like a persuasion check, and it's like, please just come out, please. Our investigation, normal. Oh my gosh, my rolls have been subpar this eve.
Yep.
8.
Right, so from lowest to highest, we'll go in this order. Juniper, you scamper over driftwood, the sort of driftwood fencing that makes up these sections, which you're used to doing. This is your kind of environment. This is your nature-based comfort. But immediately you sort of leap over and then you sprawl into the sand, getting a bit of sand up in your nose, and you just try and shift it out. You're a little distracted by the sudden basically nosedive into it unexpectedly. And looking around, you just see like the little pieces of driftwood. It's all very pretty. Might be able to convince him after to take it home with you. But that's essentially the state of distraction you're in with a natural one. And followed by Maid. You struggle a little bit getting over. You're now feeling the heat of the sand and the beach on you, so you're a little uncomfortable. That's making you distracted a little bit here. And then we got Buttercup with a 21 on your advantage, and then Fidget with Unseen Servant with a 23. So I'll say between the two, it doesn't take you very long. Buttercup with the support of your friends, and just sort of seeing the little shuffled movements of the servant, you catch sight of just sort of on like the bridge leading into the sandcastle. And then you realize that the bridge isn't actually a bridge. You see it sort of shudder a little bit as you really stare squintingly intently at it. And you see sort of the steps of the servant stop around it, trying to signal where it is.
My God, that's so cute. Yeah, he's gonna look at everyone, point at it, and gonna try for animal handling again, trying to like mimic the snail sound that he heard the snails doing. If that makes sense.
With advantage.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Thank you. Okay.
Nice, a 22.
Oh my God, my rolls.
You were meant to win this. You feel so vitalized, all your friends helping you. You feel so like warm and fuzzy. But you come in, you do your little whispers, and unlike the other ones where their shells kind of dissipate, you first see kind of a snail and almost like that pudgy face that makes you reminds you of a cat, but it doesn't have any of the cat features. You just see this face sort of dissipate as it leads it's up. So you just see the crystalline form of its face, just like as the bridge shudders and starts shuddering up into the full form of the shell, a lot bigger, probably closer to the size of a house cat compared to the other two.
Oh my god. Yeah. Is that the last one?
That's the third one.
Yeah. If
So with
yeah. If the snail is comfortable, Buttercup's gonna hold it in like two hands. So it like don't think their body is thick enough to put a cat on their shoulder. So just gonna like hold. Look at the others.
Yes. And the snail's basically draped on Buttercup's arms with the spindly dyke arms. It's just like the little ends draping there. The other snails have already, like, you have one up on your head, sort of now climbing up an antler.
Oh my
and
god.
the second one is sort of now climbing up your shoulder. But you do hear the vendor from the back. If you found them, you got to make it back here, or the time will run out.
Question. How much weight can a mage hand carry?
I believe it's up to 5 pounds.
Yeah, 5 pounds.
Darn it. What about an unseen servant?
Ooh.
I don't recall. I will have to see their spill.
Okay, I'm looking
so
at the
unseen
spell.
servant.
Let me see.
I mean, they can carry food, they can fetch things. So I'd say up to like a basic strength amount.
Because I was thinking they could just carry Buttercup back and go fast.
Buttercup, as light as they are, might be a little too heavy for an unseen servant.
Got it.
Possibly can carry a fidget, not quite possible to carry a Buttercup.
Buttercup weighs 110 pounds, so
Oh my gosh.
yeah. They are small dick, but they still are serving. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love the intention. Thank you.
All right, so you all start rushing back at the sound of the vendor calling out to you. I'll say just generally for Buttercup, give me a acrobatics. Okay.
Wow.
So 21. Very easy to do, especially with being a servant. They're used to having to make bigger leaps across things. So you manage to leap your way, bounding across the course, making sure the snails are comfortably staying on you as you make it back and rush into the box. And with this sort of sliding of your hooves on the sand, you enter the box and you just hear that orchestrated chime the second you enter it, and sort of a burst of color coming up from the rope on the ground. It's like, yeah, you did it! You found the snails! Oh, my dear pets! Yay!
All of us
you
cheering.
Yeah,
all of us cheering Buttercup on.
Oh my god.
Definitely.
The most thumbs up deer you have ever seen in your life.
Don't forget your stamp. You need to get your stamp.
Oh
yes,
yeah.
very important. So show me your card. And you see as he pulls out this little like wooden handle that has the rubber stamp on the end, he takes your card and he stamps it 3 times. Hands it back to you. You did a very good job. Very, very quick. No harm to the snails. They all actually look very delighted. He's trying to like, he first takes the big one off you because that's easiest. And then he takes the medium one and he tries to like get the little one off your antler, but now it's sort of like starting to coil around your antler. It was like, no, Timothy, no. You got to leave them, Timothy. Come on, Timothy.
Oh my god.
Eventually gets Timothy onto his feathers.
Oh my god, please, Timmy. Oh my god. Buttercup is so happy. Like,
and for the rest of you for participating, I will also give you all a single step, if you please. And as you each present, he gives you each a stamp And yeah, the stamp for this vendor is just like a little seashell, like snail seashell, in like a bright like magenta pink ink.
That's wonderful.
Was there anything else magenta in this area?
Magenta. You know what? Give me a perception check.
Okay, yes. Let me roll perception. Where is? Oh, yes. I have 2 tabs open. It's in the second one.
All the tabs.
So many tabs, so little time. Perception.
Oh, Velixie in the chat said they have a strength of 2, the unseen servant, I think, so they can carry 30 pounds.
Of course he knows
So
that.
30 pounds is not enough to
Of
carry a servant.
he's my little rules guy. Like,
I could
So-
totally see Fidget just being like too tired to walk and just being like cast unseen servant and have it carry her.
Yeah.
Yes, I rolled another 8. I think that's my lucky number for the session because the last 3 rolls I have done is 8.
Yeah, and they've all been on different checks too. So,
Yeah, so you know.
All right, thanks, Digital Day. So you're looking around, and at least nothing immediate is bright magenta pink. Like maybe the banner for the sign for the game, but otherwise nothing else quite catching your eye that's that shade yet.
Yeah, Maid
would know-
was concerned from like a graphic design branding point of view. It's like
Oh, for
You would
branding,
know
there's
that-
definitely that for this vendor.
oh, okay, awesome. But you know, if you can make the stamps magenta, then it should make sense that the rest of it be magenta. But maybe that I'm just overlooking something, you know. But yeah, sorry, Dev.
I was just gonna say, you would know that any color of thing you would look for, Juniper has something of that color in her house because she's collected so much stuff over the years that she's been
Aw.
living here.
Yeah.
If
All
we
right.
want to get more stamps, I assume there's going to be more things that we need to partake in. So maybe as I put it
Yes.
as a
But
higher
first,
objective, have
I
get
promised
stamps.
the snails some food, so I'm going
Oh,
to go
yes,
get them
please.
some food. And she just, without hesitation, dives into the water to find what I believe someone in Arnica said they eat algae. So she's gonna go
Mhm.
collect some algae from whatever
Beautiful.
tide pools are around, and just quickly go do that.
Yeah, there's plenty. You know exactly where to go and what to find in the area. So the party waits near the game, looking for the other ones, which you do see. Again, there's like a cliff race happening in the far back against going up the cliff, as well as sandcastle building. You see there's like contests for food and drink. So as you're taking that in, Juniper does come with a nice little collection of blue and green algae that's sort of become a goop in her hands.
Well, she's got it collected in a little bottle because druids have herbalism kit proficiency, so she's got like
So-
little bottles to fill the.
So in a
The algae
bottle
with-
in her hands.
Yes, and she comes back sopping wet, doesn't seem to care about the fact that she is in fact sopping wet, and just sort of comes back over and she's like, tells the vendor like, well, I without Buttercup hearing, hopefully,
Yeah.
she sort of goes over and quietly says to him, I promised them snacks to help Buttercup win, so
Oh. All right. And
I-
you already see like Timothy, his body is stretching out in your direction very slowly. And he's like, I think it was this one that you may have convinced. And he takes the bottle from you and pops it open. And Timothy's already trying to like slide off his body into the bottle. And then his shell becomes another bottle.
there you go, Timothy. Thank you very much. This was fun.
Right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Oh my gosh.
It's the
so
best
good.
day of
It's
my
so
life.
good.
So Juniper will continue to walk along with everyone, still wet. She doesn't really mind being wet at all.
You'll dry. You'll dry.
It's sunny enough, yeah.
Yeah. Won't take long.
Thank you all so much for helping. Oh my god, that was very fun. Um, what do you all want to do now? There's other games I think you should play.
Yeah, we should find a game that gives 2 stamps, so that way you'll have 5 stamps and you'll get a prize.
5 is a good number, yes. Um, we should find a game that has 2 stamps, but if there are games that can give us greater stamps, then we should achieve that. We should try to achieve those as well. Excuse me.
So Fidget runs ahead and starts asking every game vendor how many stamps she would get for winning.
All right. So you start running to all the vendors, like going all over the place essentially to get the ones that are spread out. The athletic one, which is the cliff climbing, they tell you it is for the person that gets to the flag at the top first on the run. They get 3 stamps, and then participants get 1. The castle building, which is a group contest, as they judge on various phases. They say everyone in the party can win 3 stamps. And of course, everyone gets 1 if they participate, of course. A lot of the other ones, like the food and drink eating contests, or like strength of arms, so like arm wrestling, they do 2 stamps for the winner, as they're just like a simple skill of being able to either hold down your food or beat someone else's arm down. That's what you get so far.
He runs back and relays this information. I was thinking either the sandcastle or the strength, because Maid put that spell on me, and I might.
I
And
do
she kind of
believe that
flexes.
it's been longer than 10 minutes.
Oh,
Life has definitely, the day has definitely progressed longer than that. Yeah, it only lasts for 10 minutes, I believe, top of my head. If it lasts forever, it'd be so useful.
Yes.
But yeah, let me read that bad boy. Yeah, concentration. Oh, an hour, but the day has gone thingy, but still.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then sandcastles.
Sandcastles sounds good. Are we all in agreement?
Juniper nods her head.
Let's go do.
My model doesn't track up and down as well as I would like.
No, it's okay. Yeah. We. Oh, sandcastles. I think Maid really secretly want. They're very low energy per se, but they really secretly want to do this one, but they didn't want to like push everyone to do it because it's the artistic vision of making a sandcastle and making it particular. And I trust the rest of the party to be able to help them with that. But yeah, she was very like with that.
Do we still have the mental link up?
Oh
yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to say it lasts for 5 hours, but I can roll it again. That's basically one of the soul.
So
soul
to just stuff. Fidget and Buttercup, Juniper will mentally say, I think Maid really wants to win this one, so let's make sure we help them. Yes?
And as they say that, Fidget kind of reaches into her fur pouch and pulls out an alarming amount of tools for someone so small to have. And it's all beach castle making tools, like buckets and different shapes and different shovels. And, like, it's just a ton of stuff. And then also adding onto that all the sea decorations she's been collecting along the way. Let's do it.
I'm very excited. We don't need to. It's not about winning. It's about taking part
and having fun.
Yes, that is also on the list. Yes, winning is an optional goal.
Let's do it.
All right,
let's do it.
So you all approach the game station area where the sandcastle building is, and first you are greeted by this intricately sculpted arch of sand and color. It's just 2 pillars of sand coming up, and then the use of wires and netting to create the sort of archway above that holds a driftwood kind of plank with white lettering for sandcastle building. And there's like shells and sort of like painted, like colored sands, sort of really making this big spectacle of this arch. And passing through, you see a Mawpatch. They are all black except for a mask on their, like the sort of raccoon mask, but it, instead of like being black or white, is just this brightly colored lime green, and their rings on their tails are also bright lime green. And they have a smattering of like colored sand sort of stuck in their furs, a big apron with a little like castle painted on it. And they all turn to you and they say, "Oh, welcome. Our sandcastle's starting soon. Are you looking to join as a four-party group?"
Yes. That'd be preferable. If we could.
Of course, you're just in time. So I will explain the rules. We have some folks already in their groups over in this direction. They gesture to the beach, and you see there is like a family of Mawpatch. There's a Servan and Vulpin group. So sort of like one was really big, tall elk, and just a really little like red-furred Vulpin, and they have another sort of black-furred Vulpin with them, and then there's another space that's sort of still left empty. So the Mawpatch gestures you over there. It's like, if you just pick that spot there, you get to build a castle within a time limit. There's 3 stages. One is your planning, which is your intelligence. The second stage is your building, which is your dexterity. And the final stage is your presentation. So that is your charm or performance. So you can argue for any of those, but essentially we'll take your smarts, your handy skills, and your charisma to get the most points so you can be the best sandcastle.
I love how that's broken down, by the way. Skill contest, we love those. Thank gosh I have proficiency in performance. I was like, man, if I don't have proficiency in performance, it's gonna suck. But I do. Wait, I have a critical. I turn around to the rest of the group. Sorry. And I say I do have a critical mind, but I'm not the best at planning. How would you say your planning capabilities are? Oh,
Gonna look at Juniper.
I mean, out of character, I'm not good at any of those, things. Juniper is very much a wisdom-based character.
Yes,
she's all about the animals and the nature. Everything else is kind of like,
I am a wisdom-based girlo, but I have very good. I got a +5 to my performance.
Juniper, as everyone, people turn to look at her, she sort of looks thoughtful and goes, "Well, I'm okay at finding things, but I don't know if I'm so good at planning out a sandcastle."
As they talk, Fidget just kind of looks at the accoutrement of supplies she thought to bring, and looks up, looks at the supplies, looks up. I think I might be the one for this.
I'll say, since you are prepared, you will have advantage on it.
Oh.
If Juniper and I work together, I bet we could come up with a plan. Yeah.
Yes. I have.
Can help with the building.
Sounds
if you
good.
tell me what to do, I can, try to execute it. Maybe I have big hints.
Yes, I can guide us in ways of. Does the piece feel right? But that is yet to be seen. For now, I think we are. Oh, actually, I turn to the vendor and I ask them I ask a question. Is there a time limit to this? Like a fixed time limit?
Yes, each group and family has about 30 minutes to figure out their planning, to build, and then at the end of 30 minutes, we do the presentations.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
what creature, out of character, what creature is the person running this game?
Yeah, so this is the unique Mawpatch where they have black fur, but their mask area and the rings on their tail is like a bright neon lime green.
Oh, okay.
Like, all right, well, if you've all decided how your group is going to work, please take the last slot there, and I will begin the contest.
Yippee!
Oh wait,
Yay!
before did anyone ask if we're allowed to use magic?
Oh, are we allowed to use magic, by the way, before we step past this very inconspicuous line?
Yes, magic is allowed.
Yes.
We have very crafty tinkers of the family here, and the servant's actually a priest, so they want to use some magic too. So yes, feel free. Feel free to use your magics to help you.
Awesome. Thank gosh. I mean, it would be a massive nerf to us if we weren't allowed to use magic, to think of it mechanically. So our planning is oh my gosh, my names escape me. Fidget and Juniper were going to do planning, or am I mistaken? Okay.
Nope,
Yeah.
you're correct.
Okay. Awesome.
And then,
Mm?
and then, you and Buttercup, you can use any of the stuff I brought with me. Like, it's free. And then if we need an extra hand, I can literally make a hand with Mage Hand.
Awesome. Yes. Oh, what a brilliant idea. I am happy to explain the piece if it fits with my vision.
Okay. Can you
but we
draw
will
it up?
decide whether or not we will have to explain it.
And I'm happy to
wait.
help out with the tinkering as well.
Oh yes.
You don't have to explain it. You have a notebook. I saw you writing in it earlier. You could just
My
sketch
notebook
out what
is
you want.
my notebook is for listing. All my ideas are in my mind.
Fidget
I
kind of
mean-
hands her
Yeah. Go ahead.
hands her notebook over. Do you want to use mine?
I appreciate the gesture, but being an artist means for me, I have to vision it in my head and then bring it to life. And words don't do that for me.
Fidget thinks on this for a minute. Wait, you could picture it in your head. That means Buttercup should be able to see it, right?
It's not a mind reading thing, is it? It's more of a telepathy.
That is very interesting because
It's a very cool idea, though.
we don't need to like.
We need to talk out loud.
The way it works, we also don't need to talk out loud. That is true.
Yeah.
But the creatures don't need to share a language. They just need to be close to each other. So like, as long as the creature speaks a language, you can understand. But I don't know if images convey that. I don't know how that would work. But that's a very interesting idea. I love that.
I guess it'd be an extension of your telepathy or telepathic powers. I don't know if I have any. Hold on, I need to check my spells.
Do you have any illusions?
I was gonna say I did not prepare any illusions today. Nope, not me.
It's okay. You all got this.
Yes. Wait, hold on. No, okay, I won't do that. I was gonna reflabel something. Okay, no. Shall we get to the initial planning then? Shall we start this as a group together? I'm ready. Very intense.
Yes.
Still made, but intense.
Yeah. So you all enter the last plot for your sandcastle, and you see the Mawpatch stand up as sort of like a wooden box with a little it looks like just a wooden tube. And he has a little stick handle on the bottom. He's like, all right, groups, get ready. 3, 2, 1. And he pops it, and there's just a sound of little jingling whistles as a bunch of confetti blows out from it in a big sparkle. And immediately you already see the other groups huddling up and making plans on how to approach their castles. So the first one is an intelligence. So either both, like whatever players are helping intelligence, they can make a roll or they can give an advantage to the other player.
Did you say I had advantage for the supplies she brought?
Oh, yes, you did. So you do have advantage as well.
Okay.
I like the idea that all the rest of them huddle together and we just all like look at each other because we're all telepathic, so we don't have to like talk. And then
It looks like we're completely in sync, but
Yeah.
actually we're just
one of the
that's
Vulcan
amazing.
like looks at us, just like what's going on?
I'm really not good at the intelligence stuff, so I can give you help.
I am, and I've got advantage out of character, but yeah. Alright, rolling intelligence. Ability check. Advantage.
Like, the only thing I'm good at is investigation, intelligence-wise.
Oh, that was. Yeesh. See, Fidget tries to focus and pay attention and follow along, but there's a butterfly. And it's a really pretty butterfly. And she starts wandering.
All right. Yeah. So try and like figure out the best way to planet your sandcastle, and Vigi gets really distracted. You also see next to you the Vulpin, who looks like they're trying to be the one planning it, but they're blanking through the sheer panic of, oh no, we were just told to go. Oh no, I'm blank. I can't think. But you see with the Mapach family, they're all in just a very synchronized. They are pulling out different pieces of wood and they're already like piling up different sands and gesturing to each other and how they are going to utilize the materials. One comes with a bucket of water as they continue to discuss how to build the foundations to craft this castle. So we got a 10 for your intelligence round. So the next round, I mean, 10 is still pretty good. So what is the now base inspiration as our next Dex crew?
I'm gonna
what they
say
work with?
that
Inspiration, yeah.
because Fidget just kind of wandered off, Juniper not wanting to like make Fidget feel bad or anything, he just tries to like come up with something, and it ends up being kind of similar to her house, which, while cozy, is a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
So it's
And
a
then-
little bit of a skewed, wonky design. Because you know that's what she knows. It's the weird sort of shanty. I mean, it's a big house, but it's kind of all wonky and bits and bobs here and there. So that's kind of what the design turned out to be.
And hey, we've seen that. We know what it looks like. So for the mind's eye, when we're making it, makes sense.
We can always add details later, but this is a brilliant starting point. No one had benefited from an amazing plan before. Just a good one will suffice. Yeah, well, I think we're working on that basis, and then I think a thing that Maeve would want to add is like, you know, similar to like wedding cake, like little oh my god, what are they called? Like toppers, like little versions of us, like having fun outside of the house is kind of like the next bit that I'd want to do, like as an embellishment extension of that idea. That's very, very, very particular though.
And I think Fidget is probably still tuned in to the conversation. So by the time she comes back, her arms are laden with sea glass and driftwood.
You have a lot of things.
Tools, decorations, shinies.
Will you be able to part with the shinies temporarily?
Friends?
Of course. It's just because they're going to be on the castle for a little bit, and we need our best shinies for that.
That's why I picked the best shinies.
Exactly. I can always count on you to pick the best shinies.
I can always count on you to have a plan.
Yes, plan. Yes.
Speaking of, it's time to execute.
Oh yes. I do have. This is not as super helpful, but I think painters. I am proficient in painter supplies. I do have them. I'm not using them to paint anything, obviously, but I'm using them for like composition, if that makes sense. So a thing you get with paint supplies is you acquire an understanding of art history, which you can add. You aid you in examining works of art. So yeah, that is something that composition wise.
I have proficiency with tinker's tools and pottery tools, so I'm happy to assist whoever. Because I think sculpting tools might actually be useful in this scenario.
Yes,
but
I mean, this
Juniper's
is
just
a
kind of like
dexterity check.
But Juniper's just kind of sitting here going, I don't really know what I'm doing, but she's trying to be helpful.
This is a dexterity check. I think that actually the way I'm going to interpret it, because I haven't actually used the spell yet. Way I'm going to interpret it is guidance. The cantrip guidance is more of like an inherent thing to them per se. Like it's just like like their eye for composition will help with their guidance. So yes, it's a D4 added to my roll, 1 willing creature, and I am a willing creature. And I can roll a D4 and add it to a ability check of my choice. So I can do it to somebody else. Yeah, this was the dex check, right? I'm not just completely misconstruing.
This is the dex check. I'll say those who are using their tools, you can do your dex plus proficiency.
Okay.
So you can either anyone who's helping on the dex can roll individual or advantage for someone.
I was gonna give whoever advantage, either Buttercup or Maid, because I believe this was.
Oh yeah, I'll do it.
I think Buttercup was gonna do this one, and then Maid was gonna do the presentation.
Yes. Fidget has rolled a 19. Are you using your tools as well?
I don't have tools. I don't.
Okay, that's fine. Add a D4 to that for guidance. Okay. Because like you're doing it, and as you're doing it, Maida's like, no, a little to the right. Like very like
literally
concise.
Guidance.
Yeah, literally guiding you. Oh my gosh, that's a 20.
So 21.
A 21. And then Buttercup, would you like to make a roll with advantage?
Oh, I can do that. Dex?
Yep. I gotta get the other folk going in on this.
Okay. Yeah, Fidget does the heavy lifting.
All
22.
Right.
Sorry, my brain stomped. I was like, huh?
Yeah, so looking at the other two groups next to you, the Servant Vulpin group is struggling hard. Like the Vulpin panicked and is now still like trying to figure out their plan. And the Servant's starting to build something, but it's just looking like little like kind of snaky mounds. Like he's making a little game of like snake or something. So he's just trying to pile it as best he can. The Mod Podge, where they started super strong, they're now sort of bickering on how to approach the building of it. One's going, no, use the sticks as like your main foundation, build it up around. It's like, well, no, we got to wet the sand in this proportion. So they're very much arguing amongst each other. With Buttercup and Fidget, as you're working together, Buttercup, you get like a good base going, although you're starting to get little wandered off listening to like the noise of the other two groups. And Fidget very quickly coming in to adjust the build of the thing, almost like in Fidget's high energy excitement, thinking about Juniper's home and how that looks and wanting to, oh yes, let's make a mini like dollhouse of Juniper's home.
So cute.
Oh, it's like a dollhouse? Oh, I didn't even think about that. Okay. Well, May definitely did. I didn't.
Oh, I have an idea. Juniper, if you so as she's talking, she's picking out large pieces of sea glass. If you etch each of us onto each piece of glass, that can act as our little people. Like a little token.
Like a little mini. I love that.
Oh, we can't hear you, Juniper.
Juniper is just so focused.
Oh, Juniper's in the zone.
That's weird.
I'm sorry, my mic decided it didn't want to work for a second. Yeah, I would like to use my Mod Podge Scroungecraft feature to spend
Yeah.
10 minutes to make all the decorations out of the sea glass, because she's made a mosaic out of the sea glass before. So now she's just gonna try and make crude little figurines of us.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
definitely.
uses little twigs for Buttercup's antlers.
Oh, so cute.
Amazing.
And then she
Yeah.
pockets one particularly pretty, like, purple piece of sea glass with like a look at Fidget, like, "Hey, can I have this one?" And just sort of takes it.
Adorable. Yeah, you have plenty of time to be able to do that. As you were told, this is a 30-minute runtime to reach the end. So you all take your time rebuilding the castle to help each other make it more presentable. You get it standing correctly as Juniper is crafting the little bits and pieces to just add that extra specialness to it all. And then we come towards the end of the 30 minutes. You got a bit of time to really up the presentation of it before you fully describe what your castle is. So this last charisma roll is a mix of adding the final touches on your castle as well as presenting it to the crowd what your castle theme and inspirations are.
I mean, obviously, our inspiration is from our time together. Is there anything else inspiration-wise that you guys have added that maybe I'm overlooking?
So as they had been walking along the pier the entire day, Fidget tried to discreetly collect feathers from fallen feathers from each of the vendors they had gone by, and so she's kind of sticking them in different places around the house.
Nice.
All right, so that you said it was a charisma.
It will be for whoever is running this final section. So I know Maid wanted to do it. Is anyone a helping maid in the final like trappings of
I
the
will
castle?
give her advantage.
Awesome. Thank you. It's very much appreciated. Also, my charisma is Garbo, so you know that.
Mine's
that
like
helps.
18.
What? Yours is 18?
Bard.
Yeah.
Yes, I forgot you guys rolled
Bard.
stats.
Bard.
Oh yes, Bard. Sorry. Is there
So
anything?
if you need me to roll, let me know.
I guess the main thing is like presenting the idea to people. I guess I think I'd like to reverse that then, and then have Maid give you advantage, because Maid can say all the fun big words about art, like composition and I don't know any other art words. But compositions, making. You know, look at the verticality of the cast of our sand castle. All that fun jazz, all the technical terms. But I feel like you'd have the most impassioned approach to
Oh
it.
yeah, because Fidget will take all of Maid's ideas and turn it into a bardic tale
Oh my god, that's so
when
cool.
recounting it. 19.
19.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
She makes it rhyme. It has limericks in it. It's got comedy. It's got drama. It's perfect. At least to her.
All right. So with each stage in consideration, they're going to show the presentations from left to right. You guys are on the far right. So first is the Mod Podge group, and where everyone saw they started with really, really strong plans and seemed super in sync. Now by the presentation, they are like bickering and shoving each other. This is like a quadruplet of brothers, and they're like throwing a sand at each other. And the vendor Mod Podge's like, okay, thank you for trying. Please calm down. And eventually just sort of sit down in their spots, rumbling, still like a couple of them like arguing, whispering amongst each other. Then the one next to you, where they struggled super hard on getting any idea and trying to even build anything, they at least very humbly present their little, essentially a mound with a stick in it. The Volpin says, you know, like, well, we had fun. We were just overwhelmed, I guess, but sometimes that's just part of the game. And, you know, we're excited to see, you know, our competitors on either side. So they're being very sweet about coming up, and they know their castle isn't great, but they had fun. They put a little shell on the front. And then is your group where, you know, it wasn't too bad at the planning, but you started to really amp it up and entering that final presentation with 50 points total. The Maw Potch very excitedly looks over your castle, was like, oh, please, please. And he listens to Fidget's tale, and May jumping in to sort of add the initial like flair of words to really gravitas the castle. And the Maw Potch claps. It's like, well, we clearly have a winning team right here. You all work so well together. What do you call your sandcastle?
Hardest choice in the game.
Oh, you're muted, Fidget.
Friends are never far.
Oh! And like the little crowd of people that were coming in for the end of it are all sweetly like clapping. It's like, oh! Everyone very, very touched by the little wholesome name. It's like, oh, that's so, so lovely. Well, again, we have clear winners right here. Thank you to everyone who participated. All participants do get one stamp. But of course, for our winners, each of you get 3 on your stamp card. So please present them.
She does.
And he brings out this like honking square piece of wood with a like stamp on it. And when he turns it over, it's just like this tiny little rubber. And he very full paw stamps your cards each 3 times. And you see just a bright lime green ink of a little sandcastle tower as his stamp.
They're so
Nice.
cute. How many stamp spaces does it, like how many can fit in the card?
So it's just a business-sized kind of card. So when you're looking down at it, you see like the name of the festival takes up a good chunk, and there's only like 6 dots on it. So you, Buttercup, you're full because you had the 3 from the first snail one, and now you have this one. Everyone else has 4 out of 6.
Oh, wow.
Bridget's gonna discreetly tuck hers into her little scrapbook. She doesn't want a prize. She just wants the memory.
Oh.
Oh my god, it's so cute. But we could still do another one. And everyone could win a prize. If whoever wants to.
We should go get your prize. Oh.
It's worth checking out what prizes they do have.
It is.
So maybe we could do that and then see. If people don't mind a little bit of a belated
Nope.
bit of a spoiler for oneself, I guess.
Before they leave, though, Fidget is gonna quickly run over to the castle, take the figurines, shove them in a pocket, and then come back. Like, she thinks she's been sneaky. She has not been sneaky.
Little us.
Just collecting all the memories.
I will collect all the memories.
Yeah, we should go see what prizes there are.
Awesome. So you all walk away from the sandcastle event. The noon sun has now lowered, getting closer to the horizon. And you see just the large moon off in the distance, barely touching the sea horizon line to the south. It has like a really brilliant, no longer red like a moon that would typically sit when it's that low. It's almost like a magenta and has a very subtle indigo hue on the bottom of it, almost cupping the coloration. And you go over to the prize tent. Is now, as light's starting to come up, there's some magical motes of light and little lanterns all throughout the promenade. And at the booth, it is brightly lit, different colors of magical motes of light all around it, big streamers and ribbons, and a big wooden side that says prize table. And when you approach, there is a raptor vendor there, They are just a little peregrine falcon appearance with bright, sort of like a Harley Quinn almost esque outfit on, but very presentable, like very clean, but very much on that more carnival esque style of dressing. And she smiles warmly to you all as you approach the table. You can already see on the front various prizes. There is a plushie that looks like what is called a wake worm, which Juniper would know right away is a creature. They get rather large and can be pretty aggressive out in the deeper oceans. But this one is just a serpent made in like a little plush. It has a very cute, smiley little face on it with the little frills. So for Juniper, you'd think they probably based it on a baby version as opposed to the big colossal version that gets a little scarier. There's a wooden drum with a lighthouse painted on it, the same silhouette as the Sea Watch lighthouse of Saltairsport. There's necklaces made of seashells and glass, satchels with herbs and spices, all from different areas. So there's some that are labeled from the Dust Bowl, so it has a very strong, like heated scent to it. Some from the Tangled Wilds, so very like a more of a musty, earthy scent in it. And then even from Crystal Wastes, which has more of like salts and like very simple kind of mossy herbs in it for like the really cold temperatures they're able to withstand. And yeah, there's like various wooden figurines for like really simple prizes for kids. Food, of course, there's like little satchels of like baked goods like cookies, popcorn, various things where maybe someone couldn't fill up the cards, they can still get something simple. That's what you find at the temple or at the table, and the vendor just smiles warmly and is like, "Oh, y'all having a good time? Are you ready to get prizes?"
Buttercup's gonna, in everyone's mind's gonna, so was thinking of trying to find maybe ingredients in something so we could make like a nice like feast, or have a nice little dinner for us because it's been such a lovely day. And if maybe we could cook if have a nice meal together, I think that would be I would really enjoy having that at
We
the
could
end of
cook
our
a
day.
paella.
Oh.
Oh, paella. I don't know if they had anything. I say this back to them telepathically, by the way. I don't know if they would have anything perishable, but we can check.
They have
Maybe,
spices.
like they have spices and maybe some, I don't know, ingredients and then things like desserts.
And
think
I
a
can
feast.
catch the fish and shellfish.
Yeah,
Maybe we could
And
get
I
dessert
think-
from here then.
yeah. Does that sound like a good? Because I would love to use my prize to make the last memory of this day be a very wonderful one for all of us.
I would love to have something from here. I think that sounds like a good idea.
Sounds perfect to me.
Then Buttercup's gonna look at Juniper to like, can you do the talking? Like the hand Juniper like, Mom, this is my ticket. Can you order my food for me?
Juniper gently takes the card and walks up to the vendor and goes, "Yeah, we have one full ticket here."
Oh, a full ticket. All right. Well, you get whatever selection of prize. What would you like to do?
Juniper just like gestures to Buttercup to point out all the stuff that he wants.
Yeah, like the spices, and if they see that there's like ingredients or like side stuff and desserts that could be taken for like making a nice meal, or like
Yeah, the
even drinks or
raptor.
something.
Yeah, the raptor nods along with your finger points. It's like, all right, it seems like you want sort of the gift pack of food, right? All right, beautiful. And they bring out like a little basket. They grab some of the different satchels, giving a good variety of mixes. And as they do talk a little bit about what's there. So they're saying, well, this Dust Bowl stuff is really good if you like the spicy stuff. These flavors from the Tango Wilds, really good with like your earth roots. And they put in like some little syrups that they have and some other things, and present you with a nice, like, basically gift basket of things you can use to marinate and spice your food.
You're right, we could make something like paella with that.
Juniper, if Buttercup is still too shy to like interact, Juniper will just graciously take the gift basket.
Well, you got a good selection there. Thank you all for coming by. I'm glad you had such a great day so far. The night activities are going to start soon.
As they're walking away, Fidget just kind of holds back from her and holds Buttercup's hand and just kind of looks up at him and goes, "I'm really proud of you. You did really good today." And then runs up to catch up with the rest of the group.
Thank you.
So I'll say a pause as some things happen at once in this moment as the final rays of sunset start to dissipate beyond the horizon. The basically giant moon now sitting on the waves, going from that magenta pink to a blue indigo. First, Juniper, you feel like it's almost like a cold sensation of something wet on the like very back of your spine, like at your neck base. And when you go to touch it, it doesn't feel wet, but it is a feeling you've had before. Not of danger, but of just awareness of something connecting. Buttercup, with your massively high perception, just as a general, you catch off down the beach in the distance. It almost looks like there's a weird sort of dark mass that's seeping down from the cliffs, almost like coming out from any holes or something that are in the cliffside. And there is a lot of music and entertainment and laughter happening in the crowd. But very subtly under all that noise, you hear a very quiet, like, drone of some kind of instrument in that direction.
And he's gonna point and like let people know from like, huh? I can see there's a do you see that?
Is it a
Points.
hurdy-gurdy?
As you pointed out, you can try and listen in as hard as you can. You do think that's a low drone of a hurdy-gurdy.
It's a hurdy-gurdy.
Oh my god. Books it. Like, you have never seen a creature run so gosh dang fast. Hurdy-gurdy! It just, right, like she is going.
That's amazing.
Sorry, is this in the direction of the black stuff?
Yeah, it's heading towards when Buttercup points it out, because it looks like sort of like shadowy shape, but as you focus in, it's getting like lots of glint of the light, almost like it might be water or crystal, probably closer to water.
Well, if Fidget is booking it towards the thing, Juniper is going to also book it towards the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, cautiously
Definitely.
follow.
I love Fidget's one-track mind so much.
Yeah. So you're all dashing forth towards this shape, and you do see as like it's starting to settle in the sand, it sort of comes up almost serpentine in this distance from its silhouette. But as you get closer and closer, you do see that it has almost these watery tendrils coming off it and sort of a wispy mists all around it. And it is a very serpentine form, but in sort of these smaller, almost aquarian arms and hands, it is holding like a little hurdy-gurdy. And it's a very sad song as it's there trying to play it. And it shifts and kind of quivers a little bit as it gets a little defensive, seeing a group of woodland creatures running up towards it. And the music immediately stops.
Oh, don't stop, keep playing, please.
Oh.
Bless you.
We gotta hydrate.
We need to get a hydrate, yeah.
That's what he says, yes.
He says hydrate.
It is a very water entity. I'll say Juniper, if you want to give me nature with advantage. And if
Okay.
anyone's in has religion as a skill, you can also roll me a religion.
Religion.
Hey, there we go. I rolled above a 10.
Yay!
I do not, surprisingly. Wow, to be fair. Yeah. 19, nice.
All right. So now with you much closer, Juniper, and it makes sense you being a druid, and this is the sort of land you protect. You very almost instantly recognize this as one of the local water guardians. It must have been one that was well in like slumber somewhere deep in the cliffside, and you never heard of it ever coming out. But maybe with the recent expansion of the Overlook from Solitaire's Port, it must have attracted the spirit to want to come out. And with that role, what you do know is that it understands Aquarian and deep speech. It just won't be able to interact back vocally.
Okay, so thankfully I do speak deep speech. So you all suddenly hear Juniper speak in something that sounds otherworldly and just garbled, weird, uh, guttural noises at this thing. It, with a super big smile on her face, and like, there's no aggression. Just the language is really weird.
If you
And
want, you can
she'll say,
translate for us psychically
yeah, she
because
will.
we can
I will
understand.
say, and in your head, she will translate along like a step or two after what she's saying because she can't like do the thing at the same time. But she'll speak to the being and go, "We're sorry, friend. We didn't mean to startle you. We've been looking for a hurdy-gurdy player all day. Would you like to regale us with some more music?"
Since it can't respond beyond like just the sound of like waves and water and almost like a whale echo, it brings back up the Gertie. It looks towards the festival and and you can feel it has a curiosity about everything, but it begins playing again. And now hearing that you're all wanting to hear it play, it does a more jaunty tune, something well fitting to the seaside.
Fidget would grab Maid's hands as she lets
Oh.
her. I would just start dancing around.
Oh, okay. I can try doing that.
I never said it was good dancing. It's fidget
Performance
dancing.
checks.
Performance,
Oh,
yes, of
God.
course. I would have
Oh
performance check.
God.
Oh my gosh.
And as we're dancing, Juniper is going to try and shepherd everyone towards the festival a little bit because she knows this creature isn't harmful at all and would probably be welcomed by everyone who's a local because they all know these guardians exist. So she's just sort of trying to shepherd everyone towards the festival and the sound of the music so the creature can also experience more of the festival.
Beautiful. So you now all become this sort of night parade of hurdy-gurdy music and dancing, jauntily down the beach slowly. And the crowd does start reacting in the distance as more folks start to turn and kind of walk slowly to basically greet you. A couple from the tender's tent do approach and they recognize, of course, what is going on. So they just whisper to the crowd to be respectful of the entity, but it wants to be here, wants to celebrate with everyone. And as the spirit is seeing everyone being so welcoming and everyone's kind of clapping and dancing, the tune picks up a little bit more of it, getting excited and happy. And he gives like one of the long, watery tendrils sort of a pass over all of you. And you feel like this cool, tingly sensation, almost like a refreshing energy cross over you in like a wave as you feel very invigorated, as though you could just dance and regain all the energy back from the day. And as you start to enter more into the promenade, heading even closer into the city, there's nighttime fires happening on the beach as more people start dancing around the fires and telling stories, whispers of the water guardian coming into town. The moon is now starting to pale into like a almost cyan blue, as though to be happy that you were able to interact with the spirit. Bursts of not quite fireworks. There's no aggressive bang like those things give, but definitely light bursts and whistles and song as they enter into the sky, and sparkling illusionary images glitter and shimmer across overhead. Folk on the overlook up in the top are calling out and clapping, throwing off confetti, all organic and dissolvable, no harm to the environment here. But as there is a lot of evening festivities, there is a time to start winding down, as the celebrations do eventually need to end. Is there any final thing you all wish to participate in as a party?
If they're still dancing and stuff, Buttercup would like to join in the music and play the lute for them. Just try to like keep the rhythm and just go like, yeah, just
And
yeah.
Fidget's gonna go to each of the vendors with her scrapbook and ask for a stamp for her beach page.
As you go around asking for stamps, you do get one from every vendor. So you have a nice, brilliant collection of various inks and shapes. So there's some from the food. So you get like a little beer tankard that's in bright red, and a muffin that's in like a purple. There is a vendor like from Mevikin. She has like a little green stamp of a little teacup. And yeah, so you get a nice little collection of stamps.
I think the main thing that Maid would want to do is, if people are doing lovely festivity stuff, she probably would get set up with her painting supplies, a little canvas, find anything a little bit more inspired than she initially was, and she'd probably paint a very nice canvas of the celebrations, including the water creature, all the people down here dancing, the little fire pit in the middle, like, and everybody basically like having a genuine like, I don't know if you've people seen people do live paintings of stuff, but like a very genuine, nice live moment, painting essentially.
Beautiful. All right.
Did you have anything, Fidget? Or did I?
Oh, I already did.
Oh.
She collected stamps.
Juniper keeps a little bit out of the circle of fire, not like as a, if people come over to her to like say hi and whatever, she's perfectly happy to sit down and say hi, but she's not much of a dancer, so she's just gonna sort of sit there and she's working on something. And with her druid craft, she's going to add to the festivities to make like flowers and blossoms and leaves sort of float through the air around in circles around the dancers. And I will get to what she made at the end.
All right. So the celebrations.
Did I miss
Natalie, you
or is
might
that
have to
me?
refresh.
No!
Your sound cut out.
Oh, that's such a shame.
The timing on the mic,
That was
so rude.
That was, yeah, my gosh.
The party's just too strong. We party hard.
We partied too hard.
Can I be heard now?
I've had a smile on my face for the past like 20 minutes, y'all.
Oh, same. I've been like just pleasantly pleasant.
Hurt.
I started crying.
It's so pleasant.
Right, well, the festivities do eventually come to an end, as heartbreaking as it is. The water guardian collected up all the flowers, so they're just floating in its body. Gives you all a nod as it slithers and goes into the ocean to go enjoy a good night swim. And as you all make your way back to the cottage, I know for the last bit here, some folk were working on stuff. Was it something you wish to present to the party as you all wind down for sleep?
Yeah, sure. Unless anyone else wanted to go first.
No, I
No?
think real quick, I think Maid would have presented that to everybody. The painting that they did, they presented that to everybody who was at the festivities, but not particularly directly to the party privately. Just to make that aware.
Does Maid want to keep that, or is it going to be in Juniper's house?
They will gift it to you.
She's going to immediately take down something else from the mantle in the living room and just put it right up as in a position, a pride of place in the middle of the living room.
Oh, that's so cool.
She then takes all of you out to the pottery section, where she takes out what she's been working on. She sort of made big teacups, like big ones, with a little sculpture of each of you along the handle. And just on the front of it, she adds a little bit of clay and puts a paw print of herself on each of the mugs. And she shows them to you, and she goes, "Well, they do have to bake, but at least when y'all go home, you'll have a little piece of me when you go."
Oh,
Thank you
Buttercup's
so
hugging
much.
you so hard.
Oh, so is Fidget. Fidget.
Like, we a cuddle party now.
Yeah.
yes.
We're pug.
Hug.
And she's got lots of beautiful like rugs and warm tapestries and stuff that she just wraps around everyone into a bundle.
Status condition wholesome. That's how I feel right now.
And for the first time in the entire night, you are now seeing Fidget completely calm.
Oh.
Well, I think with that, our adventure sadly has to come to a close.
Does it though?
This was the most wholesome thing. Excuse me.
Sometimes you just need to play a wholesome game, you know? There's no point.
Yeah.
There's no
Well, I'm
need
glad.
to be slaying.
Yeah, I'm glad you
always be
all were
slaying.
able to join me in on this. But we do have to say our outros and say goodbye, at least for now. So I'm going to go on order of our Twitch screen here. So let's go with Loving Sunny.
No, that's me. That is me. Hi,
That is
hello. I'm Loving Sunny. I have been Buttercup, and it's been so lovely being here. Thank you for having me. This was fantastic. You can find me at Loving Sunny on Twitch, doing cozy, wholesome farming games. Usually, that's kind of my brand. There's gonna be cute animals there as well, and you can see me doing TTRPG stuff at the Sunshine Citadel. There's links all over the place. If you look for Loving Sunny, you're gonna find everything. And thank you for having me here. It was so fantastic. I'm so happy.
Right, thank you. Let's do Miss Strange next.
Yes. Hello, it's me, Miss Strange. I was playing I completely forgot my character's name. Maid, the our Arctic Vulpin artist, which is very hard to say. If I am basically everywhere under my name, but if you want to find all my links and all my socials, twitch.tv/Miss Strange has everything there. I do, similarly to Sunny actually, I do lots of wholesome game content, but I tend to be a little bit more chaotic, I would say. And my community is certainly more chaotic as well. So if you like wholesome chaos, then please go check me out. Yeah, I'm so glad to have been here. This is the first time I've been with Girls Run These Worlds, and it's been a really good, very wholesome time. So yeah.
Yay! We're always happy to take your first. So excited. All right, let's go with Mouse.
Hi, I'm Mouse. You can find me pretty much anywhere under Tiny Chaos Mouse. I played Fidget Jump Flick, the hyperactive Gerbine Bard. this was my first time ever doing a actual play stream ever, so that was cool. Only project I have coming up is PAX West. I have a panel on Monday about grief and gaming, so if you're there, I'd love to see you there. Come say hi. I promise I don't bite. And yeah, thanks for having me. This was a blast.
Yay! Glad to be your first live stream. All it takes is one time,
Yep.
and you're stuck with it.
One time and you just keep doing it. Yeah.
It's so
Yep.
true.
All right, and then Nev.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm the Never Squid at the Never Squid on all the social medias, and I do mean all of them, though I don't have the spoons to keep track of most of them. I am your friendly neighborhood squid person and VTuber who likes to make spooky things cozy. And I can't say anything yet because I don't know when the big projects are gonna happen, but I hope sometime before the end of the year I've got some big stuff coming, hopefully, if I manage to get it all the ducks in a row. And this has been so fun. I have been playing Juniper, the mom of the group, the Otter Mapoch druid. Thank you, y'all. This was so fun. So wholesome.
Just need to have a wholesome time sometime.
Yep, for sure, for sure. And I guess me. Hi, I was the dungeon mistress for this delightful, cozy, Humblewood vacay for the party, all done by me. This is my homebrew. And you can find most places on the internet, Ghost Candle, or Ghostly Candle on Twitch and YouTube. I do a variety of things. But since you can find me in so many various channels and places, because I can't get enough of playing games with cool people at their tables, just follow the socials to keep up to date on what I'm doing. I've been playing Kids on Brooms recently. I got a solo tabletop RPG happening on my channel later tonight. That's my thing, so make sure you follow. Speaking of following, make sure you follow Girls Runs These Worlds. Every follow, subscription, whether here on Twitch, YouTube, or helping on our additional social channels, helps everybody that is part of Girls Runs These Worlds. So make sure you give us all that love, because we love playing and we love playing together and showing that to the world and sharing our stories. We have lots of major ones happening. We have on Thursdays, Alien Destroyer of Worlds. So very opposite of what we had today. But if that's your thing, make sure you check it out. That is Thursdays. The next game we have coming up is on Tuesday. Mitch Tim, I hope I said that right. The Little Hamster series. To continue the cuteness, of course. We have to keep continuing the cuteness. So if you want more of
I'm on that.
yes, Loving Sunny's there. So 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check that out. And yeah, of course, creator apps are always open. So if you have a story you wish to tell with us, make sure you find our creator app and submit. We're always accepting new stories, and happy to support anyone who wants to GM for the first time. Girls Runs These Worlds was my own DM first experience. They have claimed my DMings thus far. So, you know, just go. We're cool. We're awesome folk. And with that, I think I've said everything under my DM duty that I must say. And we are now going to raid. We're going to raid Awkwardish Panda. So make sure you hang around, say a hi, give a little wholesome wave as we say goodbye to our party in this wholesome tale. Thank you, everyone.